weekend. It seems like we're at a racetrack somewhere. So we're living it, we're doing it. I think it helps us relate whenever they call. If they need more grip or they need more turn, we do it all the time.
We can relate to what they're saying. We're not just there to sell them this or that.
We're representing not just us, we're representing our vendors, our customers, our employees. So it's important to let them know that you care.
We want to provide the best things so they can have the best experience at the racetrack. That's what we want with our race car too.
Pull the trigger and smash allowed, pedal off, turn number 4, hopefully third time's the charm, green wheel wave. And we are underway as Clanton will lead them off 2 down the back straightaway. McIntosh going to be in second. Cody King sets in the third position. That's your front 3. Fourth is going to be the 71 of Hudson O'Neill. Kyle Hardy rides in 5th. Final time down the front straightaway. Shane Clanton will take the white flag. The driver to Zebulon, Georgia. Going for that 4,000 here tonight. David Payne trying to show his nose on Donald McIntosh. But Shane Clanton out of Zebulon, Georgia will win the Schaefer's Oil Tar Heel Invitational Race presented by PitStopUSA.com.
The pandemic shut the dirt late model world down, and Tri-County Racetrack brought it back in 2020. Shane Clanton winning that fansless race that night. Derek, where will that rank in your professional career? It's the first dirt late model race in the country back. The entire United States of America is basically locked in. I honestly think it's a top 5 night in my career. Where's it rank for you?
Oh, it's I would say right there in the top 5. I would say 4 to 5, just because I knew everybody in the nation was watching that race. People were just cooped up. I remember weeks leading to that, we were just talking to, like, dirt late model people in the industry with, like, video casts, and everybody was just wondering and waiting when we were finally going to have a race. And then, like, 3 weeks go by, we're like, oh, my God, this could actually be a long time. But April 30th came around. We had a great night. And it felt like we were just – everybody was happy at that time, Rigsby.
Certainly a lot happier.
Yes.
Weirdly enough, during a global pandemic, everyone was happier. Imagine that. Derek, I was going to hit on something else, but I'm pivoting. We have breaking news. Breaking news on the show. Scott Bloomquist just into the dirt wire. Scott Bloomquist will make his return to dirt late model racing this year, next weekend, at the Dirt Track World Championship in a Devin Jones-owned race car, a Team Zero Devin Jones-owned race car. Bloomer back, Suave. Are you doing the Undertaker, Jeff? Do it. You're back. I love it.
He's back.
Bloomer back. And where else, Derek, but at Eldora Speedway. Scott returns next week just into the dirt wire. That story coming out soon on DOD.
I've been telling people the last couple of years, if he ever does come back, it will be at Eldora. If there's ever a track where he can be competitive, I don't think, winning is going to be maybe out of the question. But maybe to make the show, make some noise, a track is Eldora Speedway. That guy is so good there. And just remember in the 50th, 2021, he led the green flag. So he's still got some talent left in him. He looked pretty healthy there at the World 100. Him and his lady were there, too. They're having a good time.
Got all tanned up, looking good.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
So anyway, breaking news.
That's
Scott
awesome.
Bloomquist back, Dirt Track World Championship in a Devin Jones-owned Bloomquist Team Zero car. We'll have more on that throughout the night. Meanwhile, about tonight, let's take a look at the order of events this evening at Tri-County Racetrack. I will allow Derek Kessinger to take us through that.
All right, so we got super late model hot laps that always start off tonight's show. 602 late model hot lap qualifying, Rigsby's favorite. Super late model qualifying, and then was it four-wheel drives, FWDs?
Those are forwards.
Forward. Okay, forwards. All right.
No, it is four-wheel drive, but I call them forwards.
Forwards.
Yes.
Hot lap qualifying, studio break to see us, and then opening ceremonies. I just got informed P. Kitty will not be there tonight.
Oh, man.
Then we got late model heat races, 602 late model feature, super late model B mains, which I think we will have one tonight. Studio break to set the stage for the big 53 lap feature. Then we got the forwards, the 4 front wheel drive feature, and then I think we have the 60. Oh, no, we're good then. Then we go back to the studio show.
That's right. Just one feature after ours. It is the front wheel drive feature. I was expecting, Derek, a lower car count tonight. Not going to happen. We are at 32 right now, which means 4 heats and 2 B mains. And again, plenty of star power and great regional and local guys in the field. Jimmy Owens, didn't think we'd have him tonight. Tanner English in that Sean Martin Viper Motorsports car. Huddy and Rocket One, RTJ, Garrett Alberson, Dennis Herb Jr., Mac Daddy, Dale McDowell, and Bobby Pierce. That screen alone is loaded. But there's more, Derek.
Jonathan Davenport, of course, we mentioned. He cut his teeth here. Garrett Smith, Carson Ferguson, T-Mac, Tim McCready, who's been a little bit faster here the last couple weeks. Dalton Wilson, Ricky Weiss, and then the 79 Donald McIntosh. We have many more, and I think we have in the Hatcher 6 car, we have Ross Bales will be in the house as well, and a couple others that we did not put on the list. David Payne.
Yep, David Payne on there as well. We'll get to him later. I have him earmarked as one of my gambling picks tonight. As always, Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett join us now from the racetrack to set the scene for us at Ray Cook's Tri-County Racetrack. Guys, how are things going tonight in the great state of North Carolina?
Things are going well here in the great state of North Carolina. Dustin Jarrett, Ben Shelton here with a pit area full of dirt late models, 604s. And did Michael Rigsby really call them one time? He slipped up and said four-wheel drives, not forward, not front wheel. He literally said four-wheel drives one time. We will call him out on that.
I mean, he just keeps giving us the ammo.
I know.
Check out the view high atop here. Tri-County Racetrack, Brasstown, North Carolina. Last year we had 35 cars. This year we thought we were going to be in the mid to upper 20s. Nope, 34 in the pit area. And we actually have 2 less support divisions. I talked Ray into that. I'm glad we did. We would have been parking them over in Tennessee on the other side of the mountains, as we got a fantastic turnout in all 3 divisions. And DJ, you and I, we kind of romanticize about these racetracks that just have that old school feel. There's not many that have more of an old school feel, as you see a shot down of the pit area, Tanner, English, Huddy, all the gang through down there. There's not many that have more of a old school feel than coming to this racetrack.
It's I talked to no less than a dozen drivers and crew members about that same thing in the pit area here. As a matter of fact, Jonathan Davenport, who lives just a few miles down the road from here in Blairsville, Georgia, by the way, basically across the border, he grabbed me. He said, do you feel like you step back in time a little bit? And I said, I feel that way every time I come to this place. I said, and I love it. It is not a bad step back in time by any stretch of the imagination. It's a good step back in time, from the scenery, from the facilities, to just the, I'll just say, the good old Southern hospitality that you have down here as well.
Did you see in the background where the four-wheel drive, another car was coming in there in the four-wheel drive? Michael Rigsby, look at that. That is amazing. Just gorgeous.
I don't know where they're going to shoehorn any more race cars. And this is we'll be honest, this is a small, tight pit area here anyway.
Wait, you want a fun fact? Everything on the right side of your screen, that's not even part of the racetrack land. The neighbor lets Ray Cook use that.
Yeah.
Without that, we would have been putting haulers in the infield. And, boys, keep your head on a swivel, because race cars are coming from every direction.
You talk about a bucket list track, a bucket list location, man. Driving up here from Atlanta. Just the gorgeous, the scenery, the shops, the boutiques. If you are ever looking for a potential racing vacation, racing destination to come spend a weekend, spend a few days. Gatlinburg. You got the Blue Ridge Mountains and everything. This is definitely write this one down. It's gorgeous around here. Lots of really, really cool. Again, shops and boutiques and towns and things like that.
And I think they added, since last year, the new grandstands right there to the turn 4 side of the press box. So a little bit more seating. This is a deceptive place, because it's kind of like going to Screven, one of those type of racetracks, Golden Isles, where there's race cars and people all the way around the facility, and just a neat place. It's been a beautiful day. It rained last night. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but today it's beautiful, as you see Ricky Weiss's team getting his car ready for action. Ricky was a runner-up finisher here in a big super event earlier this year. We saw Dale McDowell a little while ago. Dale got his first ever Castrol FloRacing Night in America win here a year ago, and what at the time was the richest event in the history of this facility. So many storylines, DJ.
Yeah, and the guy that he passed to do that, he got by Carson Ferguson, who, by the way, just picked up his biggest career win with the Hunt the Front late model series last weekend. He's going to try to better that by $23
$23 to be exact. And you see teammates here tonight, as you see David Payne, always a hard charger when you come here to Tri-County Racetrack in the 8, and a team car, only his second ever super late model start, Charles Devine in the 0. You see him there. This is just one of those deals where all the locals come out. They want to be part of the big show. I tell you what, we are moments away from getting things underway here tonight. Dirt Draft Hot Laps. We're going to step aside. We're going to thank some marketing partners. We're on the other side of his screen.
Oh, there's us. You can see our hands waving a little bit.
We're wee people. You can't see us. We're here from Tri-County Racetrack, Round 10, Castrol FloRacing Night in America. The pre-race show continues here tonight. One of the most beautiful settings you'll see anywhere. We'll be right back here on FloRacing.
Shepard has a knack for winning big money races. He does it again with the win. $53,000 richer.
For the ninth time this year, it's the O Show in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
For the rocket ship, Brandon Shepard. Brandon Shepard takes the $15,000 win.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
The fastest growing name in the motorsports industry is the Racers brand of safety gear and apparel. Winners wear K1.
Larson goes to the high side. Rico slides up. Here we go. Battle for the lead.
Race for the lead in turn 1. Down to the inside. Rico says no. Drives back by him on the outside. Down the back to Kyle Larson right there running second.
Robert Ballou going a lap down to Rico Abreu. This battle for third heats up again. Larson drove down and nearly collected Madsen. Here comes Larson inside, side by side with Rico Abreu for the lead in 3 and 4.
Lap traffic all over the racetrack, right in front. The top 4 cars, nose to tail as they race into 1. Down the back straightaway, 2 car links. They both go to the top of 3 and 4.
2 laps to go right here. They've got to be perfect. Rico Abreu still trying to get around Robert Ballou, the lap car. Larson will go to the bottom. Rico to the high side, allows him some separation as Courtney closes on Larson for second. Down the back straightaway they go. Rico Abreu through 3 and 4. He'll win his 4th high limit race of the year, but the inaugural high limit sprint car champion is Kyle Larson.
The High Limit Sprint Car Tour wrapped up their inaugural season at Lincoln Park on Tuesday night. Kyle Larson crowned the champion. He won the war. Rico Abreu won the battle that night. So I watched a lot of High Limit this year. It was entertaining all year long, and I'm going to sound like a shill for the company because we broadcast it, but it was really good. Very Castrol FloRacing Night in America, middle of the week, big purses. You were a little critical of Kyle winning his first championship with the series.
I was critical, but then they posted today that they gave out $1.1 million in those, what was it, 12 midweek races?
Yes, I think it was 12 or 13, yeah.
So that's pretty solid, but, I mean, it's so rigged if he won the points. I mean, come on. I mean, a couple of guys dropped out in front of him to secure the championship. I think it's kind of rigged. But no, good stuff there. I am a late model guy, so I only caught a few laps.
It was good.
Total.
It was good. I wanted Kyle to have a bomb because you've been to Putnamville before. We saw Don O'Neill flip at Putnamville.
I was there last year for the debut.
For the High Limit debut. I was kind of wanting Kyle to get a bomb attempt on Rico at the end. But again, like you said, $1.1 million injected into the sprint car economy this year. With High Limit. So, again, Kyle winning his own championship.
I think Kyle probably won $900,000 of that, I'm sure. He figured out a way. But, yeah, it was good stuff. That was a great race. I love Putnamville. Get a late model race there again, Ricky.
Yeah, I would love it. A big cush, always big curb there, right? Always a nice big cushion.
Maybe double, like High Limit, Castrol.
That's sexy.
I like it.
I like where your head is. Meanwhile, Dirt Draft is back again this year as the presenting sponsor of our gambling segment each and every night. You will recall, of course, Dirt Draft, the #1 fantasy racing app on the planet. Play against thousands of other race fans. This is the key. Have your lineup in before your 5 drivers locked in before the first heat race. Have your lineup, your 5 drivers locked in before the first heat race. New subscribers, you see it here, receive a free t-shirt when you use the promo code FloRacing. Plus a $50 promo code for Oakley or Ray-Ban sunglasses from Deathridge, Derek. So scan that QR code there. I think Dustin Jarrett's down there. What is it, like 300th? What is he?
210. I think he's making a little rally here. Good job, DJ.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think for a guy that goes to 645 races a year that he'd be doing a little better.
Dixie Rome 90. We'll be at Rome this weekend.
Yeah, how about that?
He's the leader.
So get your fantasy app, your Dirt Draft fantasy lineup in 5 drivers before the first heat race. Derek and I, of course, do 6 bets every night as part of our Dirt Draft gambling segment. $50 each, $300 total, and we settle it up at the end of the year when Sonoy is over in November. Suave made up a little bit of ground last week, Kane, but I am still – it's hard to believe that we've done, 9 of these races and there's only a $200 difference? That's pretty unbelievable,
Well, we kind of alternate each week who's getting the first pick. Basically, it's a fight that one of us is going to get Bobby or Ricky Thornton Jr. on their side.
year, it's
And I
gonna
messed that up at Fairbury. I wasn't even thinking because I picked Huddy for fast time, and then you got Ricky and Pierce. I completely botched that, and that got me behind the 8 ball, obviously. But, hey, you know what? Just like I've done with my old bookies in the past, I'm clawing my way back.
My old bookies in the past. Let's take a look at tonight's 5 featured bets, starting with Fast Qualifier. How about Hudson O'Neal and Bobby Pierce right out of the gate? Derek, I like Huddy. No surprise, you picked Bobby first. You had the first choice in this snake draft.
Place looks like kind of like a Peoria, so we're going to the same length and shape, so we're going to go Bobby. Quick time here.
Superstar, highest finisher, guys who are considered superstars. I got Ricky Thornton Jr. You got JD. Derek, it
last year's winner?
Might be
2
years ago. Might be considered his home track. You like JD tonight?
He was fast overall last year, is what I meant to say. But yeah, he's been here before, so we're gonna go with him.
The non-superstar bet, I've got the guy that Ben and DJ talked about, David Payne, the Kevin Weaver of Tri-County Racetrack, has made 1 million laps there, and Donald McIntosh rocking some sweet hair in this picture. Swab, you got D-Mac, I got
little red glaze over him too. He looks good.
It's like he just won a long race, climbed out of the car. That's got to be a victory lane shot
sure.
that we're
looks
using
like a
there.
win too. Maybe an Ultimate Series race. Looks like the backdrop.
We upped the yellow flag bet to 5.5 tonight. I've got under 5.5. You've got over. This is going either way over or way under. Is my prediction tonight. There's going to be 2 yellows all night or 12 yellows tonight.
So I do not want 12. Just for that sake, you can win that bet every time.
And your winner tonight, fresh off his richest late model victory ever with Hunt the Front, I've got Carson Ferguson. Derek, you've got the defending champion, Dale McDowell.
I think he might look younger than he did 15 years ago. But Dale McDowell looks good there.
Like a fine wine,
yes,
Dale McDowell.
the Mac Daddy.
Like a fine wine. Those are our 5 bets tonight. And, of course, we take the average of those as the 6th one. Every got the highest average between superstar, non-superstar winner, and fast qualifier. That is your 6th and final bet. We'll keep you posted at the end of the night on where we're at. That wraps up the Dirt Draft Gambling segment. Don't forget to get your lineups in prior to the start of each heat race. Final pre-race show commercial break coming up. Kevin Kovac on the other side to preview tonight's action. You're watching Castrol FloRacing Night in America.
We're the leader in race fuels. We've been doing this since in the 60s. We use our distillation tower, which is unique. No other race fuel companies do that in the world. We also test every single batch that goes out the door on over 15 different parameters that ensure the tune-up will be identical.
That consistency in the marketplace that makes us a premium brand.
Make the same stuff every time. We're pretty darn close to perfect.
Introducing the latest technology in the racing industry, Spring Rhythm. Spring Rhythm is an app that can replace a spring smasher, giving you access to the same information the fast guys are using to stay ahead. The app tells you where to set your coilover nuts to hit your install loads and tells you the dynamic loads that the car will see in travel. It also simplifies adjustments at the track, giving you the information needed to adjust loads without taking the shock off the car. Spring Rhythm has been rigorously tested to ensure accuracy. There's no excuse to not be using Spring Rhythm.
Located in Parkersburg, West Virginia, Dave Poske's Performance Parts is the premier parts store in the Ohio River Valley, housing all of the world's top name brands in motorsports. Dave Poske's Performance Parts is also home to Octane Race Products and Hoosier Tire Ohio Valley. And rest assured, we have what you need to get you on the track and into victory lane. Ordering is fast, easy, and simple, and can ship directly to your doorstep. Visit Dave Poske's Performance Parts online at Posky.com or give us a call at 1-800-430-RACE. Dave Poske's Performance Parts, serving the Ohio River Valley and racers across the country since 1978.
As Overton has got up on the back bumper, and he'll take the lead. They'll swap down the main straightaway. Davenport still holds it. Davenport still holds the lead according to the transponder. Here comes Overton to the inside, does a cross-up move in front of him, and he is now the leader. Davenport says no. He gets back in front of him. Davenport still holds the lead officially. Unbelievable. What a race between Brandon Overton and Jonathan Davenport. They put on a clinic here tonight out of Blairsville, Georgia. He'll go back-to-back in the Tar Heel 50. Jonathan Davenport wins at Tri-County.
That is what that place is capable of, Derek. JD in the 116, Overton in the 76 from, what'd you say, 2015 or 16?
2016 bonus.
Bonus series race. That is what Tri-County is capable of, and I would love nothing more than to get JD involved in a battle like that tonight. Hot laps from the racetrack about 15 minutes away. Should be a quick night. 34 late models on the grounds. 4 heats now. 2 Bs. We're going to rip through it just as we did at Tyler County a few weeks ago. It is time now for Todd's Take. The godfather of dirt late model journalism, Todd Turner, presents to us what he is looking forward to tonight. I love the full headshot of Casey Roberts, too. This graphic, Derek, winningest drivers, races that pay $3,000 or more to win at Tri-County in recent history, or all-time recent history, I should say, right? Casey Roberts with 9, David Payne with 8, Jonathan Davenport with 6, Clanton, Overton, and Sean Chastain. This is a place that, in Madden, you see Madden with 2 on there, not like nationally known until maybe we started kind of broadcasting races there, but damn, that's a pretty good set of dudes that have won races there, Derek.
Well, it's in a good spot, close to Georgia, close to Eastern Tennessee. So obviously that's like kind of where NASCAR started in North Carolina. So the rich history of racing there. Yeah, JD, you can tell it's just on a national, series race. 2016, the race we just showed was his last, $3,000 or more payday. So we're going on 7 years on that bad boy.
Yeah, and Casey Roberts is a guy that I missed in that 101, Derek, that black 101, seeing out on the road. Todd's got one more for us here, too. Single super late model victories of $3,000 or more at Tri-County by most recent. So Jamie Oliver, your most recent, all the way back to Randall Jordan, Derek, from Bowman, Georgia in 1999. Derek, the Nowhere 50 in 1999. I love, it's mostly spring, Southern National kind of stuff on there, but in reverse order, Jamie, Jimmy, Carson, Peyton Freeman, Jason there, Garrett Smith, Kenny Collins, and Jake Knowles. Shannon Buckingham won a race at Tri-County. I kind of remember that, a Southern Nationals race back in 2016, Derek. So it's a
and
place.
Billy Moyer.
Yeah, where's Moyer at?
Tar Heel 50, 2004.
Whoa,
He's won everywhere.
Miss that.
My goodness, I did not expect him to be on the bingo
How
card for
about
former
that?
winners.
Billy, I did not know that. I mean, that's 3 years prior to Dirt on Dirt. I do not remember that race. Look at that.
He wins wherever.
Cocktail Tommy Kerr, Derek, on there from Maryville, Tennessee. Kane Hickman, Jeff Cook. That's a cool list. So thank you to Todd again for bringing us. We like to take the track that we're at, get it highlighted, and have Todd say, Todd, just to put some information together for us, and he always delivers.
Yep.
Speaking of delivering, Kevin Kovac joins us now. Kevin, you see these Todd Turner graphics each week. Do you ever just look at Todd's graphics and go, man, I just kind of marvel at the stuff that Todd can pull out, because you have to proofread these before they hit the airwaves. He comes up with some incredible stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, I just always say I want to be Todd Turner when I grow up because he is the GOAT, right? So there's no doubt about that. He knows his stuff, and I always like looking at what he comes up with.
Doesn't it, this season to me, Kevin, I'm walking around outside today in Illinois, and it's 74 degrees. It was warm for a long time. It's still kind of warmish now. It's mid-October, basically. And it just feels to me like, normally we've had a version of this conversation, but not this exact conversation. You can feel the wind down. I don't really feel the wind down in this season. It feels like, to me, we are just going to go. Gateway happens. We take a tiny breath. It's Wild West shootout time. I don't know whether it's just the extended warm weather, the longer summer that we've had, the fact that we're still racing pretty heavily into October. It just doesn't feel like there's any wind down, and it's going to be Wild West shootout like that. Do you feel that way too?
Well, yeah, I kind of have. There's two things I would say on that too. One is that weather. I mean, the weather, it hasn't been this fall weather yet anywhere. The races I've gone to, so Knoxville, and I went to Pittsburgh a few weeks ago. It wasn't cold at all, I mean, there was no winter coats out or anything, or no long underwear yet, and sometimes by that point it is. But then the other thing is we're going back to Eldora next week,
that's
right?
big. Yeah.
So I mean, usually we're like, once you get to Eldora, the World 100, you're thinking of next year going back to Eldora, and here we are going back there. So I kind of feel like it's not exactly the normal season here, where we're already looking towards next year's Eldora races when there's one coming up in just a week.
That's a good point. Great point, actually, Derek.
So, Kovac, we talked about like regions this past week on the Dirt Reporters. We got like 6 guys that are like Midwestern, Northern region, counting T-Mac as well. Are you going to take your money on the Southeastern boys representing that North Carolina area to get the W tonight? Or are you going to take those other 6 who are pretty strong, by the way? Or are they going to come into their house and knock them off? Because we did say it was Falls of the South, and usually like the Illinois guys represent pretty well, up at Fairbury. So can these guys do it here tonight?
Well, I know that two of the guys in that group would be Ricky Thornton and Bobby Pierce, right? So I think I'll take that group. That's a pretty good group to have, even if they're not Southern boys, I'll go with those two because considering they have more than 70 wins between them, I think that they have a pretty good shot at winning no matter where it is if you have those two on your card.
Kevin, give us your notes a little bit tonight if you could. Empty the notebook.
Well, I know you already mentioned that Ricky Thornton has a new car coming out, but I don't know if you mentioned the name of the car. It's Bob. He said, he's bringing out Bob for this week, and maybe this could be the car that he runs at Eldora next week. I know they want to check it out and run it, this week in the Outlaw races also. And of note is Ricky, Bobby Pierce, Hudson O'Neal, the 3. Big guys here that are, like up close, especially Hudson and Ricky, and Bobby for the point title there with the Castrol Series. All of them have only run Tri-County one time that I can find. Last year Ricky ran 8th in the Castrol race. Pierce was 13th, and then Hudson, his race was the 2020, the big one, the COVID comeback race when he finished 14th in that. So all 3 of those have never had like a really, they've been in the contention for the win there. So it's definitely note that. One couple other things. No more teenager. Garrett Smith cannot be called a teenager anymore. He just had his 20th birthday. And also note that he won his first super late model race last year at Tri-County. Back in the spring. And Carson Ferguson coming off the win last week at Swainsboro, $23,000 Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series win. That was his first race back since he had that accident at Eldora during the World 100 weekend. Had a mild concussion, kind of sat out a few weeks, and he was in the mix for the win. He was battling Dale McDowell last year, at Tri-County, I believe, in this race. So I think that he's been in the mix for wins at Tri-County before.
Kevin, I think you might have heard the news earlier, and you were the one that helped us break the news. Scott Bloomquist returns at the Dirt Track World Championship in a Devin Jones-owned Team Zero car. You got off the phone with Scott and got this news within the last half hour to 45 minutes. You've got a minute or so here. What was Scott's mood on the phone? How excited is he? Tell us about the mindset of Scott Bloomquist returning next weekend at Eldora.
Well, Scott's obviously pumped because he said he was very disappointed to not be able to run Eldora this year. It's the first time he didn't race at Eldora since 1988, when he got there for the first time in 88. So it was something that was missing from his season. And now he gets to run it. He says he feels physically good. Of course, he would much rather not see the track be rough. He's hoping now all support divisions or something. He's like, I hope it doesn't make it rough. His shoulder still is not in the 100% best. And, he's not 100% physically, with some of the ailments that he has, but he does feel good. He feels like he could be he said he wouldn't come if he didn't feel that he had a shot. And remember, those Team Zero cars, how good were they back at the World 100? Right? I mean, Shirley, Ferguson, and Dale McDowell, all those guys were running pretty well with him.
Derek, let me paint a picture for you and Kevin. Scott Bloomquist returns to Eldora for the first time this year and wins the Dirt Track World Championship, wrecks the Lucas Oil Championship party, right? That's going to be all the talk. Zero rolls in. Where would you put that in the list of Eldora Bloomquist moments? I'll start with you, Derek, then Kevin. Where would you rank that?
I would say that would rank second behind the 2014 coming from the tail. At least in my lifetime of seeing him at Eldora. Obviously, he wasn't there for his first couple, but I'd put it at second. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. What about you, Kevin? It's got to be. It's in the consideration.
The being light at the scales, that was a pretty big one. But in terms of wins, that 2014 one's huge. I wasn't there. I didn't see 1988. I think that one would be up there put those top, and this would be right in the top 3 with those other two, because man, he goes, I hope I have a story for you. That's what he said. I hope it's a big story for you after Saturday night. We'll see. I'm sure he'd have some good quotes, right?
Where do you rate his Bloomquist impersonation right there? How was that, like a 6 out of 10? Or that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's good.
We'll look forward to your Dirt Wire on the Bloomquist. For those of you listening at home or watching at home, check out Dirt on Dirt and FloRacing. More on this Bloomquist-Evan Jones partnership will be coming out. Scott back at the Dirt Track World Championship next week. Kevin, we'll see you on the post-race show, buddy. Thank you.
Yep, see you later.
Derek, we're about 5 minutes away from Hot Laps. Final thoughts before we head out to Tri-County.
So, with the debut of Ricky Thornton bringing out Bob, we get a special extra race weekend between Bobby Pierce and Ricky Thornton Jr. because he's going to race Sonoya, which he won last year's Peach State Classic, and then he's going to race Rome to get more testing and see how he likes that car for the Dirt Track World Championship. So we get this bonus where these two go head-to-head. I think Bobby leads the head-to-head, I think, like 24-19, something
it's close,
there, maybe 23-18, something like that. So Ricky Thornton Jr. can maybe, gain a little bit here as we have 3 races as they go head-to-head. So a lot of talk, who's going to be the number 1 driver at the end of the year, driver of the year. That's my biggest takeaway going into this weekend, starting tonight with the race at Ray Cook, Tar Heel 53.
So imagine that. It's October 12th, and we're talking about a bonus weekend that we get of Ricky Thornton Jr. and Bobby Pierce this late in the year. That is super fun, right? And 2 traditional kind of late model places at Sonoy and Rome, where you get to watch this guy from Arizona by way of Iowa, by way of Indiana, racing this masher from the Midwest in the great state of Georgia. That's a lot of fun this late in the year.
And it's just those two have been going back and forth. Last week, Bobby Pierce swept the weekend at Brownstown and Fairbury. Ricky Thornton Jr. took off. Those weekends with Knoxville and Brownstown, Ricky Thornton Jr. capitalized. So we finally get to see him since the World 100 going at it. And I guess we did have a couple Castrol races, but just like the main stage of those two battling, that will be fun. And hopefully it comes down the wire. Kovac says we don't do driver of the year until after Gateway.
Because they're both racing.
Yeah, because they're both so good and so close.
Man, so normally for those at home, we start writing driver of the year, Derek, late October, right? Like
you're usually a guy's ahead.
Yeah,
well.
right. It's a clear. We got to get through the World Finals at least, right? Before we do it.
I would
and
think
Peach State Classic.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it'll be interesting. It's gonna be fun.
One note I have is I've been hearing a lot from our teams on Castrol FloRacing Night in America. It's October 12th. They're tired. They're worn out. Derek, we have started to work on our 2024 Castrol FloRacing Night in America schedule. And fall doesn't feel like fall used to feel in the fact that guys race so much in January, February, and May, June, heavy May, June, July. We might do a little less in the fall next year. At present, we don't have the Castrol schedule built for next year. We're looking at it. We're eyeballing it. But I'm getting the sense and the feeling from all of our teams that, man, they're worn out right now. And, Derek, they got to focus on a Lucas Oil Championship, and they got to focus on a World of Outlaws Championship. So our teams are kind of reaching out to us. And it's the first time I've really felt that in my career. Man, Rigsby and Ben and D-Suave, we're exhausted. We're worn out. They need a little time off right now, Derek. I'm just saying that we're going to go a little lighter in the fall, let the Outlaws and Lucas kind of carry the day a little bit, Derek.
Yeah, and I think you even felt tired when you called me on the way home from Fairbury, just saying, like, you talked to Steve Francis and their bunch, too, like, just how much racing's going on. And I'm just looking at it in 2019, Rigsby.
Yes.
How many races you think paid over $20,000 in 2019 from October on?
2.
20 grand or more.
2.
3. So
how many this year?
A lot.
More. Well, we've got a fun night on tap, a Thursday night showcase in Western North Carolina. We will send it out now to Ben Shelton, Dustin Jarrett, and Blake Anderson, who have the call all night long. Guys, we're really looking forward to it. The Tar Heel 53 from Tri-County Racetrack and the great state of North Carolina will be back after qualifying in the studio. Enjoy, everybody.
Well, thanks a lot, guys, as we are just about ready to get underway with Dirt Draft Hot Laps here at the Tri-County Racetrack. Welcome, everyone. Glad that you are with us here this evening. 34 Castrol FloRacing Night in America late models in attendance here this evening. And we have got an action-packed night of racing planned for you with Dirt Draft Hot Laps, All-Star Performance, Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials, and, of course, 4 qualifying heat races coming up a little bit later on those heat races. We will transfer the top 4 out of each heat race into tonight's A main. Tentatively scheduled to have 2 B mains. We'll probably be there with 34 cars in the pit area unless there's a ginormous amount of attrition, which we certainly don't want to happen. We'll have 2 B mains. We'll transfer the top 2 out of each of those B mains, and then we'll see if there is a need for any Castrol FloRacing Night in America provisionals. Bobby Pierce comes into this event leading our point standings, Ben.
Yeah, we just saw him on your screen getting ready for battle here tonight in car number 32. He's won the past 2 events here in Castrol FloRacing Night in America. In 2023, a 15-point lead over Hudson O'Neal. And I tell you what, the crowd's starting to come in. And it's kind of got like that high school football feel. I saw some down the road. I saw a group of people walking toward the track entrance. And again, the property itself, not the biggest, but there's a lot of parking around here, a lot of fields. Everybody's starting to make their way in. You see Ricky Thornton Jr. getting ready for battle tonight. And, of course, Ricky continuing to make up ground in the standings as well. Now, what's interesting, DJ, is tonight is the 10th round of the 2023 Castrol FloRacing Night in America. Only your 10 best finishes count toward the championship, which, oh, by your way, if you have perfect attendance, is worth $75,000. Otherwise, it's worth $50,000. Right now, as we talked about it, Pierce has got a 15-point lead over Hudson. Davenport, 81 points out of the lead in third. Ricky Thornton Jr., 85 points out of the lead in fourth. And Tim McCready, 87 points back. And again, as we get ready for Sonoy and we get ready for those events, what's interesting is both of those could serve as drop events. Those could be events that replace low scores. And if you're a guy like Dennis Irv Jr., who's in 6th, Dennis did not make it to our first event because of hauler issues. Then he missed another event because we didn't have provisionals yet in that point in the season. He's still 6th in points, even though he's missed 2 features. Dennis Irv Jr. could get into the mix before this is all said and done.
Yeah, a lot of movers and shakers, a lot of potential for movers and shakers still to come with after tonight, as you mentioned. 2 races left. It's the Peach State Classic. It's Sonoy, 2 complete shows. Yeah, look at Carson Ferguson fresh off his most recent win, that $23,000 payday at Swainsboro with the Hunt the Front Late Model Series, his biggest career win.
I want to give a shout out to tonight, Sunoco Race Fuels, as always. Richie Lewis and the gang, they sponsor our fast qualifier. But C&M Truck Beds out of Hayesville, North Carolina, Dwight Penland. Understand, not only does he own that company, he is also a local alderman, and I love it when the local officials get involved with the racetrack. $100 to both Group A and B qualifying tonight for the fast qualifiers. So we appreciate Mr. Dwight Penland with C&M Truck Beds out of Hayesville, North Carolina, putting up some extra qualifying money and Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. And DJ, it's time to bring race cars to the Speedway, and first cars are starting to roll out, and they're led by your defending dirt track world champion, Garrett Smith, out of Eatonton, Georgia, in car 10.
The 20-year-old now just had a birthday yesterday. Yep, the world-famous Cadillac Ranch Terminal Maintenance and Construction sponsored number 10, and he'll be followed out by one of the tough locals here at Tri-County, at the Tri-County Racetrack. Ben, that will be David Payne.
David Payne, the 2012 Tar Heel 53 champion of Gibson Motorsports, Payne Excavating, J. Dickens powered Capital race car. And behind him, another driver, former champion of this event back in 2015, Sean Chastain in the 00, won this race back in 15, the multi-time track champion in the 00. Beautiful race car, the Wells Tire and Service Center 00.
He's always got, Sean Chastain's always got a got a good-looking race car. I feel like a few other drivers on the track over in turns 1 and 2. The defending winner of this race out of Chickamauga, Georgia, be an 8-time winner this season. That is Mac Daddy Dale McDowell in the Easy Go Clunt Synthetic Lubricants Cometic Gasket sponsored number 17M, and he'll be followed out by a driver making, well, just a handful of super late model starts this year. Ben, it's going to be Seth Wimpy out of Chattanooga.
Yeah, his 3rd super late model start of the year of his career in the number 24 car. Also on the Speedway, the 114 through 3 and 4. That'll be Jordan Kohler, this year's Southern Nationals Rookie of the Year, the Ultimate Towing and Recovery Coronet powered Longhorn by Wells. And one other driver in this set, we'll have Brent Dixon out of Elberton, Georgia. And the Swiftco Motorsports Rocket XR1, Dave Gordon Auto Supply 1D, as we are underway with Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Get those Dirt Draft lineups in, and if you sign up, well, you're going to get some free stuff. As right now, if you sign up for Dirt Draft, the latest deal from Clint Gall and the gang, you get a free Dirt Draft Lucas Oil or All-Star USAC Hunt the Front or Short Track Super Series t-shirt, $50 off at Death Route Optics promo code, and a $20 My Race Pass promo code to get over to Dirt Draft, sign up, and get a lot of free stuff. As right now they're getting the racetrack ironed in here.
I locked mine in, my lineup. I heard them making fun of me, by the way, back in the studio.
Well, for a lot of reasons. Well, the fastest time in that set, 15:5:45. Dale McDowell And, of course, Dale won this race a year ago, his first Castrol FloRacing Night in America win, and he did it after a heated battle with Carson Ferguson, the driver of the number 93. So we'll see if they can rekindle that one here tonight, and maybe Carson can reverse fortune and get his first ever win with Castrol FloRacing Night in America.
Yeah, Dale McDowell right now 1.5545, the best lap that has been turned by the handful of drivers that are on the track for this first session of Dirt Draft Hot Lap. Seth Wimpy with a 1.5911 and Sean Chastain with a 1.6083. Good look at the cars making their way down the front straightaway and around this. I don't even know, what do we call this? We call this a quarter?
Yes.
Do we call this
A dirt track. We call it a dirt track. Well, as we get Dirt Draft Hot Laps underway here tonight, whoa, the drone getting a nice up-and-close shot of Brent Dixon's 1D.
Don't wreck the drone.
The FK Ride-Ins Tar Heel 53 presented by Jackie Jones Automotive Group. Ben Shelton, Dustin Jarrett's up here. We just saw Blake Anderson, his first time here to the Tiger Pit, made his way to the infield. And I tell you what, this drone right now, boy, I shouldn't have ate dinner before we went on the air because he's doing some whoop-de-doos right now. Well, how about that? Ray Cook does it all, tech official for our series, and he operates the racetrack here at Tri-County Racetrack. Blake Anderson, you made your way to the infield. What's on your mind, my friend?
Boy, watching the drone, holy cow. you can follow it pretty easily. It's been one of the easier drones for us to follow because it's got that cool blue underlight. I'm kind of excited to see it when the lights go down here.
Wait, how is Blake watching the drone?
Well, he's
that
in the infield.
Me.
He saw the actual
drone.
He
sees the actual drone.
I
got you.
Yes, yeah. I'm following the actual drone. Probably for the best watching it fly around, DJ.
Well, next set of cars make their way out to the speedway, and Kurt English out of Murphy, North Carolina leads them out. They won Mini Storage Pro Power Racing Engine Barry Wright Icon number 17.
He'll be followed out by the multi-time Volunteer Speedway track champ in that Longhorn, that terminal maintenance and construction sponsor number 1 out of Mosham, Tennessee. That is the Thrill Vic Hill in a. Is it still a former Garrett Smith
Yes,
backup?
it is.
Okay.
It is. And how about the fact that this is only the 4th time he's ever raced here?
Yeah.
That blows my mind. The number 93 that rolls through 1 and 2, fresh off a 23,000 hunt the front win. And Swainsboro, that'll be Carson Ferguson, 7-time winner this year out of Lincoln, North Carolina. 2-time and defending Schaefer Oil Spring Nationals champion, the Hoop Hall Grading Cornet Lightning Longhorn, number 93 for Carson Ferguson.
He'll be followed by the driver of the Ken and Beth Roberts Racing, number 58. That's going to be Garrett Alberson, your Ronnie Adams Memorial winner a little bit earlier this season in the Mesilla Valley Transportation Done Right TV sponsored number 58.
The 96V down the back straightaway, the Viper Risk Management Motorsports, M&M Painting Construction, Base Racing Fuels, H&A Development, Durham Power Longhorn for Tanner English, currently 7th in the Outlaw standings, 9th with Castrol FloRacing Night in America. The 3-time winner this year is Tanner English in the 96.
A 2-time winner this season behind him, Ben, out of Dawsonville, Georgia, in the Hicks Racing number 79. That's going to be D-Mac, Donald McIntosh. McIntosh, of course, a winner in the inaugural, the opening event at Ultimate Motorsports Park with Bobby and Jessica Kohler a little bit earlier this season. And one other driver on the track is going to be Galen Robinson in the number 12 out of Cleveland, Georgia, I believe.
That's right. The Ralph Grizzle Trucking Vic Hill Power Train chassis. 2 of those in the pit area. Kenny Collins has got the other one, not the band train, the race car train. We're not going to be looking for a train tonight. We're going to be looking for some slide 'em up action here on the edge of the Smoky Mountain National Park right now as we saw Dirt Draft Hot Laps. A new leader atop the board, Tanner English, in that Viper Risk Management number 96V, a 13.217 track record. Well, we're a long way from that puppy right now. Peyton Freeman back on April 21st of last year went a 12.069.
Oh my, we got to gain a full second. Let's not forget too that Ray Cook put brand new clay on this racetrack. He started mixing it in about 6 or 8 weeks ago. He mixed it in over the course of a few weeks, and man, it looks good right now. It's really, really good.
Well, it does. He's done a lot of work on it. He was really excited to see how tonight would work out as he's worked hard on the new surface. And right now, racetrack's starting to come in, DJ, and they're starting to pick up. Donald McIntosh, 12.744, fastest lap so far in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. And again, get your lineups in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Dirt Draft lineups, excuse me.
Get your lineups in a Dirt Draft, that's right. Donald McIntosh goes even quicker that last time around, 1.2557. So we're able to pick up a half a second on the track record.
And a note on Donald, he actually injured his collarbone at Eldora back during the World 100. So it's still not 100%, but it's feeling much better. And as you said, he picked up a win over at Bobby and Jessica Kaler's Ultimate Motorsports Park back on August 26th with none other than Kelly Carlton's Ultimate Late Model Series. So
The
a lot of
Ultimate-
ultimates happening that night.
The Ultimate Late Models.
I
at Ultimate
still want to see the
Motorsports Park.
79, and I still want to say Ross Bell's.
Yeah.
Because, old habits
Old
die
habits
hard.
hard to break,
But I
yeah.
tell you what, Donald McIntosh has looked really good in that car. They had a lot of confidence for tonight as well, DJ.
Well, guess what? You're going to get to see Ross Bales tonight.
Yes,
He'll
for
be
the
in
first time ever in a new ride.
In the Danny Hatcher number 6 this evening. Yes,
like
that's exactly right.
They were down there. They were getting the pedals dialed in. They were getting the seat the way. And I told you, I said, well, it's not for me because they're not using phone books and feed extensions to get you dialed in this race car. As we're going to bring back out the first wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. As those guys were out there, a little bit of a slimy racetrack. Let's be fair. Let's give everybody a good chance to have a good racetrack, get them dialed in for Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. Presented by C&M Truck Beds here tonight at the Tiger Pit. You know what? We kind of hate nicknames, but we kind of like cool ones, and I like that they call this the Tiger Pit. Of course,
I like it.
You know, it works.
Absolutely.
It works.
Absolutely. And so are we going to go, is it official? We're going to go 53 laps?
It is.
Executive decision.
The reason I told Ray my OCD can't stand it anymore.
No,
if it's the
we
Tar
have
Heel
to.
53, you got to go 53 laps. So, yes, we are going 53 laps. And Michael Rigsby, you were wrong. The reason it's 53 laps, yes, that was Ray's number, but for the longest it was the Tar Heel 50.
Yeah.
Clint Smith always said if I had a few more laps, I'd have won that race. So what did Ray do? He gave him a few more laps.
That's exactly right.
So we're continuing here. Dirt Draft Super Late Model Hot Laps. 602 Late Model Hot Lap qualifying will be coming up shortly with maybe my favorite announcing duo in the sport. We're going to have Travis and Killer.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Get the earmuffs for the kids because you don't know what's going to be said.
Or as
Check out the drone. He was serious. Blake, look at the drone, how blue it is. It glows.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As a driver, I think I'd be confused.
Well, remember last year we wrecked the drone at Sonoy. We put one in the trees at Florence earlier this year.
At Florence.
Yeah, Ian wrecked one on the rear decking of Gordy's car at Gateway 2 years ago. Yeah.
No, it definitely. We had video of it happening.
Yeah,
so
that is true. That is true.
So I mean, so what you're saying is there's no danger anything will happen with the drone. We're fine.
You never know what's going to happen with the drone.
I'm fine. You're fine.
We're all fine. We're all fine.
All right, now Donald McIntosh says, well, group point, you got another
I'm fine.
chance. It doesn't matter. You didn't get to me. So Donald McIntosh, 12.557. Blake Anderson, you are at the infield for the first time ever here at the Tiger Pit. What do you think about this place so far watching Dirt Draft Hot Laps?
It truly is a pit, Ben. I feel like I'm kind of down in a hole, which makes it really, really cool. High banked. I'm excited to see tonight how high these guys get up on the racetrack. David Payne rolling by me, and Ben, you and I talked a little bit to that group early on in the night, and we talked about cool-looking race cars that you guys liked. I like the little touch inside the number with David Payne's father's number 9 on the inside of the number. Just cool little things like that that make a paint scheme or a wrap these days maybe just a little bit more special.
You know, it's a little something, you know? No, I'm with you, man. Well, we're going to bring the next wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps out to the Speedway, and they are led by Ricky Thornton Jr., who mowed down 2 micro sprint wins last weekend, so he's got 36 wins.
Isn't that something?
He had a heat race winner picture next to a 7-year-old that made me laugh. It was the best. Hey, that kid was racing with Ricky Thornton Jr.
Hey, that kid was tickled to death to be racing with him. Absolutely.
Currently, your Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader. He enters tonight, and he is 5th, or make that 4th in Castrol FloRacing Night in America standings. And he is in SSI Motorsports, Hoker Trucking, Clements Powered Longhorn. Behind him, the driver that's atop of our standings and atop the World Outlaw Case Late Model Series standings. Out of Oakwood, Illinois, the smooth operator, Bobby Pearson Cart, number 32. Bobby having a bang-up year. 2 wins last weekend, 34 on the year. The Hoker Trucking, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn for Bobby Pierce. Behind him in the middle of the back straightaway, how about birthday boy, 51 years young today, Dennis Erb Jr., happy birthday. Dennis 6th in our standings, and 9th in the World of Outlaw Case Late Model standings. McBride Mac, Ideal Ready, Miggs, Tools Auto Sales, Clements Powered, Rocket XR won for 4-time winner this year, Dennis Erb Jr., and he's won 2 of those with us, DJ.
You said it was the birthday boy, and I looked up and saw Hudson O'Neal, and I thought, now wait a minute. Hudson O'Neal and I share a birthday.
Nope.
I'm fairly certain today isn't my birthday. There is Hudson O'Neal, though, out of Martinsville, Indiana, your reigning World 100 champion, currently 2nd in the Castrol FloRacing Night in America point standings, and that Valvoline, Swabert, Calf Ranches, Gunners, Honey O'Neal's Salvage sponsored number 1. Who else on the racetrack? Franklin, North Carolina's David McCoy and the Coltman Farms number 187. There's the 49 from just over the river and through the woods. Blairsville, Georgia's home, about 5 miles away. As the crow flies, Superman Jonathan Davenport in the Lance Landers Racing Nutrient Ag Solutions Dyna-Gro Seed sponsored number 49. Ben, did you get Austin Neely on the track?
I did not.
In the Reese Monument Company, number 3. One more driver on the track for this session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps, and BP32 immediately goes to the top of the leaderboard.
That's right. JD says, hang on, hold my briar patch. He goes 12.395 as we're within 3/10 of the track record. Now Pierce will take it back away from him. Could we flirt with a track record tonight? New surface on the racetrack tonight at Sunoco Racefield's qualifying. They're awful fast in dirt draft hot laps right now, and it's BP32 12.354. Last year was his debut here, and no big surprise, he's fast everywhere he goes. Dustin Jarrett, Bobby Pierce fastest lap, 12.354, unless Missing Data got it.
Missing Data got it, and it's Hudson O'Neal, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Hudson O'Neal by 1/100th of a second.
Or 1/10.
No, 100th.
A 100th, yes.
Close.
Sorry.
You were just an engineering major. It's no big deal.
Yeah, don't go over those bridges.
Yeah. That's right. Well,
Don't drive over those bridges.
But can you judge the grade of a racetrack?
With
no, you
my
cannot.
naked eye, I can. All right, next set of cars make their way out. They'll be led out by Ricky Weiss, eight-time winner this year. Hello, here we go. 8-time winner this year. He wishes 18 times. Maybe by the time the year is over. 8-time winner. The G-Style Transport, Martell Brands, Collins Brothers towing Vic Hill powered Sniper for Ricky Weiss. And riding behind him, good to see Clay here with us. Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida, the Rescue Metal Framing Impact Electrical Services. Number 6, a 7-time winner this year across crate late models, 602 late models, UMP modifieds, barbecue late models. He's winning a little bit of everything.
Barbecue late models, how about that?
So
Wow.
Clay Harris in car 6, his first ever Castrol FloRacing Night in America event.
Ethan Dotson behind him. Is this his debut
Yes.
with the Coltman Farms team?
No, he won at Talladega second night out.
Oh, that's right, he did. That's
but
right.
But this is his Castrol FloRacing Night in America. I don't know that he's run. He ran Lucas, but I don't know if he's raced with us.
I think he ran. No, he ran with us at Marshalltown and Davenport.
You are right.
Yes. Again, thank you.
Well, a driver behind him, no stranger to victory lane here at Tri-County. He's won here this year. Jamie Oliver out of Murphy, North Carolina, the Jack Canby Excavating, Divine Towing and Recovery, Clements Powered Longhorn for Jamie Oliver.
He'll be followed by the driver we talked about a little bit ago in the Danny Hatcher Racing number 6. That is going to be Ross Bales out of Clover, South Carolina tonight. Right there on your screen behind the wheel, that Hatcher's Auto Sales Riverwood Self-Storage sponsored number 6.
And the 108, that'll be Charlie Chuck is actually what he goes by. Chuck Southard out of Franklin, North Carolina. The Masters built Gen X, Precision Race Wrap, CarQuest, RSR, Auto Parts, Carolina Performance 108. I love the triple-digit numbers. Also in this set, the number 39 of T-Mac, Timmy McCready making his debut here tonight. And the Paylor Motorsports, Mega Plumbing and HVAC, Mega Electrical Services, Bill Stein, ArmsList.com, and Racing for Heroes, Cornet Powered Longhorn for Tim McCready. 5-time winner this year, 6th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series standings, and he is currently 5th with Castrol FloRacing Night in America in his debut here at the Tiger Pit.
Man, this place is fun. You were reading off those last couple guys, man, and I was watching McCready and a few of these other cats get around here. This is such a fun place. There's not, with the way these cars are nowadays, there's not a lot of tracks that you still go to where it's just, smash the loud pedal, stab the brake, smash the loud pedal, stab the brake, and that's what they do here, and it's just so much fun.
And here's the reality. These are the kind of racetracks that made us fall in love with racing as kids.
Absolutely.
You grew up on racetracks like this. I grew up on racetracks like this. It's almost like a homecoming when you come here, even though it's only my second time here.
Yeah.
It just feels like home when you roll in here. Ray Cook, they've got a special place. And if you're watching at FloRacing, we hope you'll join us next year as fans continue to come in tonight. I think we're going to have one more wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. They're going to be led out by a driver that won here with the Schaefer's Oil Southern Nationals. That'll be the O-Show Jimmy Owens in car number 20, this year's Schaefer's Oil Southern Nationals champion, the 4-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, and the Kohler Motorsports Reese Monument Company Vic Hill Powered Rocket number 20 for Jimmy Owens. Behind him, the 0, that'll be Charles Devine out of Murphy, North Carolina, the Payne Excavating, Gibson Motorsports, Divine Towing and Recovery. Car 0 for Charles Devine, capital race car here tonight for that driver. Breast Cancer Awareness Wrap on the number 18 car of Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. The driver of the Ratliff Racing, Grantley Farms, MGL Auto Sales, Keltner Construction, number 18, a one-time winner this year is Dalton Wilson, and he's been flirting with a win, 12th in the series point, 7th with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series standings.
I love Kenny Collins' cars.
Yes,
He
clean.
always just has the sharpest, cleanest looking race cars. Of course, when you do your own graphics, when you own your sign business, that helps. That is Kenny Collins on the racetrack there in the 1C, and that's Scott Ray Excavating sponsored entry, and he'll be followed out by the number 12. That is not Ashton Winger, contrary to popular belief on the Speedway, Ben.
Yeah, that number 12 is actually going to be Daniel Wilson out of Tiger, Georgia. The CWC race engine, Longhorn chassis, sponsored by Hunter Electric, DWB Kerbo Construction, Linkmon Hoisting, Precision Steel Coating and Striping, all sponsored on that 12 for Daniel Wilson. Tonight will be his first ever Castrol FloRacing Night in America event.
Daniel Adam behind him in the 75. Talk about a guy that here in the last couple of years has branched out and traveled a lot more. That is the driver of the Rum One Enterprises rocket chassis, number 75, Daniel Adam, out of, I believe, Wade, North Carolina, and he is the final driver on the track for this hot lap
from down here in North Carolina, originally from up around Peoria, Illinois. Found that out during the Illinois Speed Week this year.
How
that
about
team
that?
came up there, yeah, and relocated down here. They've really upgraded their program. Nice hauler, some new equipment. They're hoping to do more in 2024. You see Daniel Adam on your screen, the Wade, North Carolina driver. His dirt draft hot laps are back underway here tonight. Castrol FloRacing Night in America. DJ, it's hard to believe we're getting ready to be 10 for 10 on the 2023 season with this series.
Are we the only series in the country that has not had a rain out, knock on wood?
No, I mean, you know, we 411, we had some logistical issues, and we hope to get back to the McCarter place.
yeah.
You know, we miss seeing Mitch and Mac and Pearson the gang, but apart from that, we haven't had any races canceled this year. And let's just hope that we don't have a hurricane blizzard, a thunder blizzard, or anything at Sonoy. Let's have a beautiful weekend for the Peach State Classic down there on November 10th and 11th. I can't wait.
Listen, anybody that is willing to lay tarp over the racetrack and bring a helicopter in to help dry it, I mean, if they can get last year's race in, I don't think anything can hold them back. That is a level of dedication that should make most other track promoters jealous.
Last year's Sonoy at 2 o'clock on Friday. No way we're racing tonight. 2:30. There's just not a chance. 3 o'clock. Is there a chance we're going to race tonight? And they just kept, helicopters are showing up. They're pulling tarps up, and we raced. We had a great weekend, and we can't wait to be back there at the Pollard Palace of Speed. Sonoy Raceway. The World of Outlaws are headed there on Saturday.
Yeah,
check them out this Saturday.
Absolutely.
Sonoya1969.com. You can check it out. You see Kenny Collins on your screen back in his family-owned car. Raced last year, most of this year with Coltman Farms. He's back in his family-owned 1C, and that's going to be the second train chassis in the pit area. DJ, we have wrapped up Dirt Draft Hot Laps. We are set now for 602 late model hot lap qualifying. And it's time, yes?
Just real quick, I'm looking over this, and we've pulled the graphic off the left side of the screen. You want to know how tight super late model racing is right now? Less than half a second separates the top 18 drivers.
It's a shame that it's broken.
That is,
all
yeah,
right,
no doubt.
We've got Killer and Trav coming in, and buckle up, boys and girls, because this is going to be fun.
That's right.
All right, 602 late model qualifying. Yep, you muted me for sure. 602 late model hot lap qualifying. Super late models, get them ready. Sunoco qualifying will be coming up right behind them. 17 of these drivers. Trav, Killer, come on up, guys. Take it away.
All right, fellas, thank you so much. It's always fun having you in the house with us here at the Tiger Pit. Okay. 4 cars at a time. Interstate Welding 602.
Did you say 4 at a time?
4 at a time. Can you
Our
hear
fans
me?
have never seen that before.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Interstate Welding 602 late models. Final points night here at Tri-County tonight for our 602 fellas. And it's been a fun year, hadn't it, Killer? I'm sad it's over.
I'm sad, but
I saw you
all is here. We're here, and we're going to send it off with a blast tonight. FloRacing of America is going to do their thing. It don't get no better than this.
There you go. It's fitting. The first car out on the track, the number 56. He's pretty much got it all wrapped up. He will be your Interstate Welding 602 champion for the 2023 season. A senior in high school and got him a championship. How about that? That's Colton Barone out of Murphy, North Carolina.
That's what you call bragging rights.
Yep. I wonder if he walks down the halls at school with his chest out a little bit.
The Hall of Fame.
There in Black Beauty in the number 149 out of Clayton, Georgia. He is one of our regulars, one of the coolest names we have here, Seth Speed. So
he has a need for speed, and we're going to provide it for him tonight.
You see him there going down the back stretch. Behind him in the
Michael
number
Spanky Barnett.
Former division champion here. I don't think he's put it victory lane yet this year. He would like to end the season on a high note. You see him there in the 37 car. And Big John Howard in the 81 back with us in the 602. I talked to him. He's been running limited, and he said that he's been having better luck in the limited than the 602. He's hoping to turn that around here tonight. Right now, no surprise, Colton Barone tops the charts with a 14175. Seth Speed looking pretty quick. He's got a 14505. Michael Spanky Barnett, 14566. Let's see, John Howard. How about John Howard? 13997. Not bad for the big man.
I'm looking, but I'm not seeing.
4 cars, 4 laps.
13969 for John Howard. He's been working on that Capital race car, doing a good job. We love when they come to race with us.
Big John, he's a nice guy. And he was one of the top dogs before he started piddling in the limited division. So right now, John Howard tops the charts with that 13969. Seth Speed second quick with a 14055. Colton Barong 14175, and then Spanky with a 14177. So strong run for Seth Speed right out of the gate there in Black Beauty.
What about that tonight, Travis? No B feature.
No B.
All A feature cars tonight. So
I think we have 17 of these bad boys. Yep, looking here. And if you're new to Tri-County, if this is the first time you tuned in, this is my personal favorite division here at the track. You may have the guy that wins 3 in a row. He may finish 8th tonight. It's just that equal. As I'm not sure what Colton's doing.
I have
Looks
no
like
idea.
Ray Cook's going to check something. Oh, he lost his transponder.
That don't work good with computers.
Maybe the drone can find it. Oh, he's got it. It's just not picking up.
That's why all the four-wheelers out there, they're looking for it.
Well, so I know he would like to get a couple laps because, you know, he's not going to be happy with that lap. Usually he's top 2, top 3.
Usually he's the man to beat.
Let's get this. There you go.
Am I off?
You're fine now.
I'm out of my element.
Yeah.
I've never had such technology.
I like being able to hear you, though.
Well, things have come a long way since my bugle horn.
People say that we do a good job announcing together. Most of the time we can't even hear what the other one's saying.
Well, maybe that's better that way.
We'll find out tonight, won't we?
Well, we just try to entertain, don't we, Travis?
Hey, if you're interested in getting into racing, there is a car. Sugar Creek Raceway has the car that they are raffling off over there in turn number 1, just inside the pit gate over there. You can go buy you a couple of raffle tickets. It's a 2021 Masters built, never been raced, complete car except for the drivetrain. Go over there. Todd can take care of you. All right, on the track right now in the 100 car, another high schooler out of Murphy, North Carolina, Super Cooper Twiggs. He had a rough night down in Blue Ridge the other day. Did you see that video?
I did not, but I heard about it.
Well, it was pretty rough. Let's see who else is out there.
Jonathan Cope in the 116 car.
This is the triple-digit gang.
Yeah.
Jonathan Cope got a B-feature win here a few weeks ago.
And the 117 of Dylan Beaver, followed by the 30 car there of
Josh Wooten.
Josh Wooten.
Talk to Dylan Beaver in the 117. You see him there on your screen if you're watching on Flow. He said that they found a distributor problem with that car by accident, but he said since they corrected it, he's got a whole lot more power. I said, it's funny how that works, isn't it?
Usually that makes a difference, doesn't it?
When it's not skipping and missing. There you see Josh Wooten. Good shot of Josh Wooten going into turn number 3. See that car bucking as he comes off of turn number 4. Dylan Beaver to the top of the charts with a 13802. Cope, second quick.
All right. Yeah, Cope to the top of the board now.
Yeah.
The 1-3. Well, Beaver beat him again. 13658. Dylan Beaver.
That's just how close it is. Cooper Twiggs right now third fastest with a 13923. How about that, boy? John Howard was looking good till this bunch got out there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dylan Beaver, I don't think I mentioned, he's another young one. He's not in high school. He's a working man, but he's what, early 20s?
He's just a child in my world.
Yeah, well, mine too.
But when you see this many cars in the 13s with the 602 cars, you can only imagine what the Supers is going to be.
Yep. As the track starts to dry out a little tonight, and the track looking good, isn't it?
I was told, but I don't know. There's more traction in the track than ever before.
Well, I would believe it. Ray's got this fresh clay on there. It's not new clay.
No,
They don't make new clay anymore. It's fresh clay.
When the earth was created, it was put here.
Yeah.
We just freshened it up with a
We got
little
all
bit
we
of it
needed.
now.
Yep. All right, rolling out now in the number 3 from Gainesville, Georgia, Shane Chastain. I believe that's a new name here.
I think I've saw that name a couple of times.
You're not
but I'm
thinking
not
Sean
certain.
Chastain, are you?
Well, not really.
All right, you see Colton Barone. They've got him a new transponder. He's out there.
And what about Fancy Pants Vance going to run the 602 race tonight?
Mr. Excitement himself, Alex Vance. No street stalkers tonight, so he brought out the 602. I told him, I said, you're going to play like a big boy tonight.
Yeah, he thinks he's bosom buddies with Vic Hill.
Is he? Well, he runs it there. Oh, and out there, I didn't see CB in the 73.
McKinnon, yeah.
CB McKinnon, veteran. Let's see how they all clock in here. Alex, not really. You see him in the 95. He is one of our street stock superstars. Hadn't run the 602 much with us. A couple of times, but
he's on 8th on the board right now.
Dylan Beaver holding tight in the top spot.
Braun's up to 3rd there with a 138.25.
Yeah, I knew he probably had a better lap in him. We'll see what he does this time. Chastain, where's he right now? 10th out of 10. Here we see Colton Barone. Let's see where he pops up. He'll stay in that 3rd spot, 138.25. Super Flagman Whalen doing a great job down there waving that flag. It looks like he's done it before. All right. Checker flag will fly. Colton Barone still in the 3rd spot. Does anybody have anything for the front row? Doesn't look like it, as this group will come to a close. Right now, your top 5, Dylan Beaver, Jonathan Cope, Colton Barone, Cooper Twiggs, and CB McKinnon. A few hard hitters still left to come.
And we were talking about how fast John Howard was, and he's in that 6th position right now. And Alex Vance in 7th. And we're about 2/3 of the way through. Almost 2/3.
I never was good at fractions.
Well.
All right, now, well, I'll explain once the car hits the track. How about that? You want me to wait till the car hits the track? You see the 27 there getting ready to come out of the chute from Alto, Georgia. That's Mike Davidson.
The promoter down at Toccoa Speedway.
Yep. Ray Cook there directing traffic. He'll wave Mike out. Behind him, the 88 car, you may look at that and think that's Ricky Smith out of Hiawassee, Georgia. No. Apparently, Ricky has sold that car. That's John Snow from Blairsville, Georgia, in the 88 car. The Snowman. Yep.
Willie Dockery rolling out in the 4 car. I seen that car for sale, did I not, on Facebook?
I don't know.
Well,
did you?
I thought I did.
Okay.
Or maybe it was one that looks like it.
Maybe. I know Bean Flipper Super Late models for sale.
Really?
It could be yours if the price is right. Let's see what this trio can do. The Snowman, John Snowy, struggled a little coming out of turn number 2. I don't know what's going on back here, Dustin. You need to sit down. You need oxygen.
They're making fun of us, Travis.
Is that what they back there making fun of us?
Yeah.
We were having a good time about something totally different. Okay. Well, the only rule, if you're going to make fun of us, you got to clue us in on it so we can laugh too.
Listen one more time, be twice you'll ever see this show.
Mike Davison stopped over there at the Brasstown Body Shop. Ray Cook looked it over, I guess gave him the thumbs up. Dylan Beaver, Jonathan Cope, Colton Barone, Cooper Twiggs, CB McKinnon, your top 4. Now, listen to this. Dylan Beaver, young guy. Jonathan Cope, he's fairly young. Colton Barone, high schooler. Cooper Twiggs, high schooler. CB McKinnon, grandpa. That's your top 5.
Great grandpa, almost.
Still getting it done, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, no 42 car tonight. The guys are going to be disappointed. Godzilla's not racing tonight. He's here. He's here, but he's not racing.
Yeah, he sold his car to Chuck Southerns.
Oh, did he? Well, he sold that car once this year, and I saw it on Hunt the Front. Jesse drove it on Hunt the Front, and then he bought it back. Now he sold it again.
I believe he's got more than one.
I don't know.
I believe he's got a whole, he's like Reed Wilson. He's got a whole fleet of cars.
All right, this group's still trying to finish things out.
Yeah. I'm getting nervous right now, though.
Are you?
Yeah.
You need to sit down?
No.
Hey.
No, not now. Hey, if you come to this race and you have to sit down, there's something wrong with you.
The drone pilot over here, he's taking a break. We were admiring his skills earlier, wasn't we? We were standing out there.
He's a pretty good pilot, isn't he?
He's going to fool around and get a job doing that. Easy.
Well,
Easy,
car
Willie.
there, he was flirting with disaster.
He flirted, though. He didn't propose.
Okay.
All right. We should be getting close to finito, shouldn't we?
Should be about 3 more. I think.
3 cars left, confirmed by the people in the know. Are you one of those
Hey,
people?
these headsets, they're pretty neat, aren't they?
I know.
No wonder these people do such a good job. They got good stuff to work with.
I got us a set a few years ago, but we couldn't use them because people up here got excited and they would shout and the mics would pick them up.
It was killer.
So that's one reason the divider's here. Because, you know, I didn't want to explain why somebody in the booth was yelling and calling somebody else a name.
Daniel Hilton in the one car. He was the first one out of this trio. And beautiful Bobby Elkins in the 44 car.
Wait a
your
minute.
most recent winner.
Did you say beautiful Bobby?
Beautiful Bobby.
See, I tried to make him seem mean and call him the bad boy. You call him beautiful. Second in points right now. You mentioned our most recent winner. And who's out there with
That's Tim Wright in the T4.
Tim Wright's been with us about, I don't know, the last 6 races, I guess.
Yeah, he's getting.
Look at Bobby. What a great shot there on Flo. I don't know. You think he would pass Droop right there?
He passed my Droop rule. I don't know about anybody else's.
I don't know if these guys know. I'm sure they know. They would probably know. Not only is this the home place for Ray Cook and Jonathan Davenport, also the Droop rule came from here. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, it was conceived right here.
I didn't even watch, did you?
Right here in B-Town.
I'm going to need you to explain that to me later. How was it conceived?
I think it's looking like it's time for Castrol Super Late Model.
I think we got a break coming up, don't we? No, we don't.
No, we don't have a break. I'm going to sign off because I'm slow.
All right. Okay, so we are going to take a quick break here as soon as we get done with the interstate welding qualifying. So I'm going to turn it over to Ben, and Ben's going to tell you what's on the docket.
Well, we're going to step aside real quick. Thanks to marketing partners. We come back. Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. Castrol FloRacing Night in America from here at Tri-County Racetrack. You're either in the house or watching it all on Flo Racing. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Tri-County Racetrack here in Brasstown, North Carolina. It's time for Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying tonight. Group A and B. Group A will make up heat races 1 and 2. Group B, heat races 3 and 4. Yep, you got to unmute it, DJ.
That's right.
Look at that. Look at that. Whitting putting the visor down. What the veteran, the Hall of Famer.
Oh, you're not Killer.
Dale
Sorry.
McDowell. As Dale, he won this race a year ago. He's going to be our first qualifier tonight. The Easy Go Quad Synthetics, Cometic Gaskets, S&H Systems, Connected Strategy Advisors, BSI Well Service, Fox Shocks, and BlackRock Enterprises. All sponsors on Dale McDowell's number 17 M, a 10-time winner this year and a 2-time FK Rod-Ins Tar Heel champion, presented by Jackie Jones Automotive Group. And the second qualifier we'll go 2 at a time will be the number 10 of Garrett Smith out of Eatonton, Georgia. The Atlanta Paving and Concrete, Senior Life Construction, Terminal Maintenance Construction, the world-famous Cadillac Rank, Schaefer Oil, Vic Hill, actually scratch that, VP Racing Fuels, Boswell Oil, Vic Hill Powered Rocket XR1 for Garrett Smith, your defending Dirt Track World Champion. He's an old man now, as he's 20 years old.
Yep.
And the track record, Peyton Freeman, a 12.069 on April 21st, 2022.
We were 3/10 off that.
Yes.
In
Well, the
hot laps.
602s were in the low 13s.
No.
Fastest
That is,
602s ever. So that's how we'll go. We have 34 drivers minus 1 tonight, as Sean Chastain already a scratch in that 00. And I hate to see it, man, but your defending champion, the 17M, is going to get us started here. Sunoco Racefields qualifying 2 at a time. Group A will line up heat races 1 and 2 here tonight at Tri-County Racetrack.
And don't forget, lock in those DirtDraft.com fantasy lineups. If you've not yet done so, you have until the end of qualifying before the first heat race to set those DirtDraft.com fantasy lineups. Dale McDowell, 1-2-8-6-7, his first time around, and the first lap time for the 10 of Garrett Smith is a little bit better, 12-8-2-4. Second lap time on Mac Daddy Dale McDowell is better, 1-2-6-8-3. He goes back to the top of the leaderboard, and the second lap time on Garrett Smith is not as good. Well, it's a little bit better, but not as good as McDowell. Ben, it's going to be a 12-8-0-3. So it's Dale McDowell, Garrett Smith. McDowell's time to beat 1-2-6-8-3.
Up next, Brent Dixon out of Elberton, Georgia in the 1D, and the 114 of Jordan Kohler out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. Brent Dixon, the Coronet Thunder-powered Rocket XR1, Swiftco Motorsports, Dave Gordon Auto Supply, all sponsors in that 1D. And the 114 of Jordan Kohler, the Ultimate Towing and Recovering, Traffic Control Safety Systems, Ultimate Environmental, Scenic Motors, Law & Order Auto Sales, Cornet Powered Longhorn for the 2023 Schaefer Oil Southern Nationals Rookie of the Year, Jordan Kohler. Time to beat Dale McDowell right now with a 12.683.
Brent Dixon going to be second quick his first time around, and the 114 of Jordan Kohler will cross the line fourth quick on lap number 1. Second and final lap time for the 1D of Brent Dixon is, wait for it, top of the leaderboard, Ben, 12.587 for Brent Dixon, and Jordan Kohler's second lap time is a little bit better, 1.2913. But Brent Dixon now the time to beat with a 1.2587.
Up next out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, making his debut with Castrol FloRacing Night in America tonight. An 8-time winner, but sure to be Seth Wimpy in the 24. And joining me, the 8 of David Payne, the ball coach out of Murphy, North Carolina. A couple of wins on the year for that driver. Seth Wimpy, 8 wins across 3 divisions. The week's tire, Vincent Sims Construction, M&B Contracting and Hauling, Booger Brooks Racing, Vic Hill Powered XR1 Rocket Chassis for Seth Wimpy, as we said, an 8-time winner across 3 divisions. And the number 8 car, that'll be David Payne out of Murphy, North Carolina, the 2012 FK Rod-Ends Tar Heel 53 champion. The J. Dickens Powered Capital Race Car, sponsored by Gibson Motorsports, Payne Excavating, John Boy Exterminating, Divine Towing and Recovery, and PPM Racing Products, all sponsors on David Payne.
First lap time going up for Seth Wimpy, fifth quick, 1.3530, and the first time for David Payne, third fastest, 1.2762. That is him, the missing data, number 3 on your screen on the left side. Seth Wimpy's second lap time's a tick better, 1.3492. He's still sixth. And the second lap time for the 8 of David Payne is 12.762. He is third quick after 6 cars. Brent Dixon still the time to beat with a 1.2587.
Up next, it'll be Kurt English making his debut with Castrol FloRacing Night in America out of Murphy, North Carolina, in car number 17. And he'll be joined by the 93 of Carson Ferguson. 23 big ones in his back pocket after a win with the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series at Swainsboro last week in the Southern Showcase for the Lincolnton, North Carolina driver. Kurt English, the A1 Mini Storage, Hayesville Trailer Cells, North Carolina Maxi Storage, Goth Lithium, Pro Power Racing Engine, Barry Wright Icon number 17. And the number 93, that'll be Carson Ferguson, 7-time winner this year, the 2-time defending Schaefer Oil Spring Nationals champion, and the Hoop Hall Grading, WP Racing Shocks, Dunwell's Custom Kitchen and Poorhouse, Bill Stein Schaefer's Oil, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Pro Fabrication, Paywar Motorsports, Cornet Lightning Longhorn, number 93 for Carson Ferguson. Time to beat Dixon with a 12.587.
Kurt English goes 6th quick on lap number 1. First time around for the 93 of Carson Ferguson. Good enough for 5th quick. Second time for Kurt English, 12.928. That's his best lap. He's 7th quick after 8. Second time for Carson Ferguson is better. He is 3rd quick, 12.702. It's still Brent Dixon, Dale McDowell, and now Carson Ferguson, your top 3 after 8.
Up next will be Moshheim, Tennessee's Vic Hill in the 1V and the 58 of Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Vic Hill in the terminal maintenance construction, Pure Max Racing Oil, Estes Brothers Construction, Vic Hill powered Longhorn 1V, and the 58 car, Garrett Alberson, 11th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series standings, currently 14th with Castrol FloRacing Night in America, the Nutrient Ag Solutions Fast Shafts, Dunright.TV Solar, Sunoco, Romer Machine and Welding, Massey Valley Transportation, Lucas Oil, Bill's Sports Shop, Clements powered Longhorn, a one-time winner this year. That came in the Ronnie Adams Memorial at Boot Hill Speedway with Chris Sullivan's Comp Camp Super Dirt Series all the way back in March. And Alberson was the 2022 O'Reilly Auto Parts Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Rookie of the Year. As we'll get Vic Hill and Alberson out to the speedway, and it's still Brent Dixon time to beat a 12.587 track record, a 12.069 by Peyton Freeman last April. As in April of 22, not this April.
Not, yes,
a
last
year ago April,
a
yes.
year and a half ago April. Yep,
something,
got it.
something.
Got it.
Yes.
All right, so Vic Hill on the track and on your screen. That is the former Garrett Smith backup race car, the world-famous Cadillac Ranch #1. Vic Hill will go 8th quick his first time around with a 1.3054. And Garrett Alberson, the Kenneth Roberts Racing #58, his first lap time's a good one, Ben. 3rd quick, 1.2698. Second time around for Vic Hill. And his second lap time's not as good, 1.3417. He'll stand on lap 1. I mean, 9th quick. Garrett Alberson's second lap time, even better. Second quick for the Las Cruces, New Mexico driver, a 1.2671. So it's Brent Dixon, Garrett Alberson, now Dale McDowell, your top 3 after 10.
Up next out of Dawsonville, Georgia, Donald McIntosh from the Billy Hicks Racing #79 and the 12 of Galen Robinson out of Cleveland, Georgia. Not Tennessee, Cleveland, Georgia. Donald McIntosh, one win on the year, came Ultimate Motorsports and RV Park on August 26th with the Ultimate Late Model Series, the Billy Hicks Racing, H&H Auto Sales, Lawson Trucking, Fred Caldwell Tractors, Wakefield Logging, Clements Powered, double nickel race car, the only double nickel in the pit area here tonight. Where are you at, Benji Hicks, #79, as he'll actually be racing at Ultimate Raceway Park this weekend. Will Hicks, so that's why we don't see him here tonight. The number 12 of Galen Robinson in the 12R. The train chassis, Vic Hill Power and Hood, the Ralph Grizzle Trucking, Cleveland Wood Preserve, Hopes and Dreams Performance, and West Signs and Wraps, number 12 for Galen Robinson.
Galen Robinson will be 10th quick his first time around. Donald McIntosh goes 6th fastest on lap 1. Lap 2 for the Dawsonville, Georgia driver.
Oh, hang on. Galen Robinson into the wall down in 4, DJ.
Yeah, he's in the wall hard. Second lap time for Donald McIntosh is not as good. He'll be 6th quick and rest on lap 1 at 12.795. And Galen Robinson, who is coming around to complete lap number 2, will not be able to do so. He is going to be 10th quick at the moment. His best lap, a 1.2959, and as hard as he hit that wall, he may require the assistance of a wrecker to get the 12 extracted off the racetrack.
Yeah, he caught it down there kind of on the exit of 4 and right up before the exit, and then it brought him around. I'd say you're right, DJ, probably right front knocked out of that race car. His first ever Castrol FloRacing Night in America event. We've got a handful of drivers making their debut tonight. Really, really cool to see a little bit of smoke coming out of that race car. Blake Anderson, you were down there. Did you see what happened to Galen Robinson?
I did not. I was on the other side of the ambulance down here trying to find that safe spot down here. You mentioned a handful of guys. 9 drivers in tonight's field, Ben, making their Castrol FloRacing Night in America Series debut.
I love it. And, DJ, I think we've got footage of what happened to Galen Robinson.
Yeah, absolutely. Not Jeff Curl. It looks like a Jeff Curl car. Yeah, Galen Robinson getting into the wall down in turns 3 and 4. And here is your FloRacing instant replay. Just a little high in corner entry. And once she gets up above the cush.
The cush.
The cush, yeah. It is very easy to get sucked into the outside wall, and that's what happened to Galen Robinson. As it looks like he will stand again on his one and only qualifying lap time. 10th quick right now after 12 cars with a 1.2959. They're chasing Brent Dixon in his lap of 12.587.
Up next, Tanner English out of Benton, Kentucky. Former World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year. The M&M Paint Construction, Viper Risk Management, Motorsports, Base Racing Fuels, H&A Development, Capital Waste, and Supreme Enterprises. All sponsors on the Durham-powered Longhorn for Tanner English. Ricky Thornton Jr., the 20 RT, current Lucas Oil Limited Series points leader. The Excel 4 covering SSI Motorsports, Hoker Trucking, Dino 1, Westside Tractor, Clements Powered Longhorn for Ricky Thornton Jr., car 20 RT.
So the first lap time for Ricky Thornton Jr., 9th quick, 1.2928. And the first time around for second time around for Tanner English, 11th quick, best lap, 1.2952. RTJ to the top of the leaderboard, Ben. 1.2544, Ricky Thornton Jr., fast time after 14 cars here at Tri-County. A 12.544 is now the time to beat for the current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader.
Well, up next, he's going to have the current Castrol FloRacing Night in America points leader and Bobby Pierce, who was fastest in dirt draft hot laps. He'll be your next qualifier in the 32. And the 28 of the birthday boy, 51 years young today, Dennis Erb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois, 2 Land of Lincoln drivers. Pierce on the Hoker Trucking with Sea Valley Transportation, Premier Waste Services, Carnegie Towing, Oakwood Tire Company, Toyota of Danville, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, 34-time winner this year. And Dennis Erb Jr., defending World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion. The McBride Mac, Ideal Ready Mix, Tools Auto Sales, PRC, Kaiser Manufacturing, Clements Powered Rocket XR1 for Dennis Erb Jr.
Dennis Erb's first lap time, 14th quick, 1:29.75. And the second lap time for Bobby Pierce is third quick, much better, 1:26.29 for Beat 32. Second time around for Dennis Erb Jr. Also a little better, he'll bump up to 11th with a 12:9.17. So Pierce goes third, Dennis Erb goes 11th. 16 drivers have attempted a lap in Group A. RTJ, the time to beat, 12:5.44.
Well, that is going to wrap up Group A as we get set now for Group B, Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. So fast time, he's going to get $100 from C&M Truck Beds out of Hayesville, North Carolina. Thank you, Mr. Dwight Penland. That's going to go to Ricky Thornton Jr., who right now atop, obviously, Group A and overall, and he was our fast qualifier at Tyler County Speedway. That was his first Sunoco Race Fuels Fast Qualifier Award, and now he is trying to go 2 for 2 in back-to-back events as we get set now to send out the first cars in Group B, and they're going to look like this. Gentleman that grew up about 20 minutes down the road out of Franklin, North Carolina, it's David McCoy, the Coltman Farms Racing, Autism Awareness, Special Needs School of Gwinnett, Fox Diesel Service, NPM Marketing, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn for David McCoy. And then it'll be the number 1 car, second in the Castrol standings, second in the Lucas Oil standings. It's Hudson O'Neill in car number 1, the Valvoline VR1 Racing Oil, Performance Grading, Sloiber Calf Wrenches, O'Neill Salvage and Recycling, Ace Metal Works, Gunner's Honey, 5-Star Race Car Bodies, Petrov Towing, Sunoco, WR1 Sim Chassis, and AccuForce, all sponsors on that Durham-powered Rocket XR1 for Hudson O'Neill. 14 wins on the year for that driver. And, of course, the Show Me 100 win just a few weeks ago, and we're going to be back at Eldora, well, a week from tonight. We'll all be arriving there and getting ready for that Big River Steel Chase for the Championship presented by ARP next weekend.
Can't wait.
300,000 somebody could win.
I think somebody will. I think one of the big four, I think one of the championship 4 is going to win the race and then win the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points title. And which one of the big 4 that's going to be, I have absolutely no idea. So there's David McCoy, the Franklin, North Carolina driver, the Coltman Farms number 187. And there's Martinsville, Indiana, and his new deal, Hudson O'Neill. We have wiped the slate clean. These are the first 2 drivers on the track for Sunoco Race Fuels time trials in Group B. David McCoy trips the trigger on lap 1 at a 12:928. And the first lap time for Hudson O'Neill is a little better, 12:706. Second time around for David McCoy is exactly the same as lap number 1, 12:917. Second lap time for Hudson O'Neill is, I'm waiting for it to populate.
Looks like a 12.534. There we go.
Yeah, there you got it. I did not have that.
It's a little delayed, yes.
No, I don't have that on mine. I don't have it here. You got it over there, though.
I got it on the
and
broadcast.
It is Hudson O'Neill, 12.534. That is the time to beat in Group B.
Up next, it'll be New Tazewell, Tennessee's Austin Neely in the 3, and Superman Jonathan Davenport in the 49 out of Blairsville, Georgia. Neely in the Reese Monuments, First Century Bank, Integrity Plumbing, Four Seasons Boat and RV Storage, Vic Hill Power Team Zero Race Car. For Austin Neely, couple wins on the year, and 13-time winner this year, 3-time Lucas Oil Limited Dirt Series champion Jonathan Davenport, and the Nutrient Ag Solutions, Fast Chef, Tiger Grows Seed, Lucas Oil Products, ASC Warranty, Martin Automotive Group, Mega Plumbing, the Carolinas, Bill Stein, VP of Midwest Sheet Metal, Cornet Powered Longhorn for Jonathan Davenport.
JD second quick, Austin Neely third quick on lap number 1. Lap 2 for Austin Neely is not as good. 12.909 is best lap. He'll be third quick. Jonathan Davenport second lap time.
You did it. You teased me. Yep.
12.611 second quick. And here's what's funny is he is showing first on mine because that second lap of Hudson O'Neill did not trip the trigger on mine. But as, well,
the internet,
well,
right?
Is that official?
We'll get word from
I've got
scoring
12.611. That's what I've got.
That's what I've got for JD,
okay.
second quick.
There you go.
All right, coming up next, Ricky Weiss out of Headingley, Manitoba, the G-Style Transport, Martell Brands, Colin Signs, Keewatin Truck Service, Derek Sandblasting, Vic Hill Powered Sniper, 8 wins on the year for Ricky Weiss, and Clay Harris, the Jupiter, Florida driver. He comes to us In the number 6 car, the Rescue Metal Framing, Impact Electrical Services, Dunright Construction, Wilkerson Farms, Boswell Oil, 4 Boys Racing Supply. Number 6 for Clay Harris, a 7-time winner this year.
Ricky Weiss, 5th quick on lap number 1 with a 1:35.34, and the first lap time for Clay Harris. He'll go to 5th quick with a 12:951. Second and final time around for the driver that now calls Monterey, Tennessee home. Ricky Weiss's second lap is better. He'll stay 6th with a 1:2.976. And the second lap time for Clay Harris, not as good. 12:951 is his best lap. He'll be 5th. David McCoy is 4th. Austin Neely 3rd. Hudson O'Neal 2nd. Jonathan Davenport still the time to beat in Group B with a 1:2611. Don't forget Jonathan Davenport merchandise on sale behind the main grandstands. $5 off all T-shirts and hats tonight. Get them while they last. It's the Jonathan Davenport merchandise stand behind the main grandstands.
Up next out of Bakersfield, California, Ethan Dotson and Coleman Farms Racing 174 and the 38 of Jamie Oliver out of Murphy, North Carolina. Ethan Dotson, the Coleman Farms Racing, Autism Awareness, Special Needs Schools of Gwinnett, Fox Diesel Service, MPM Marketing, Bill Stein Shocks, SRI Performance, and DirtCarLift.com, all sponsors on that Vic Hill Longhorn. And the number 38 car of Jamie Oliver, the Clements Powered Longhorn, Jack Canby Excavating, 4 Boys Racing Supply, Interstate Welding and Steel Supplies, Divine Towing and Recovery, and B&O Racing Supply, 38 for Jamie Oliver.
Ethan Dotson 3rd quick on his first time around. Jamie Oliver 8th fastest on lap number 1. Second time for Ethan Dotson, not as good. His best lap, 3rd quick, 12:711. And Jamie Oliver going to jump up to 4th quick on lap 2. A good time for the Murphy, North Carolina driver as he lays down a 12:879. Again, Jamie Oliver 4th quick, Ethan Dotson 3rd, Hudson O'Neal 2nd, and it's still Jonathan Davenport's 12:611, the time to beat in Group B.
Up next, it'll be the 6B of Ross Bales out of Union, South Carolina. The Hatcher's Auto Sales, Riverwood Self Storage, Tim Logan Racing, Durham Powered Longhorn, number 6, and the 108 of Chuck Southard. Coming to us out of Franklin, North Carolina, Precision Race Wrap, CarQuest, RSR Auto Parts, and Carolina Performance 108.
So the Danny Hatcher number 6, Ross Bales, comes off corner number 4. His first lap time is 9th quick, 1:3.118, and the first lap time for the 108 of Chuck Southard, 10th quick, 1:3.639. Checkered flag is out, second time around for the Danny Hatcher number 6 again tonight. That is driven by Ross Bales, and Ross Bales' is second lap time, 9th quick, 12:998. Second lap time for Chuck Southard is a little bit better, 1:3.479. He is going to stay 10th quick after 10 cars. Jonathan Davenport still the time to beat in Group B with a 1:2.611. Hudson O'Neal 2nd quick with a 12:706. And Ethan Dotson right now 3rd quick with a 1:2.711. 10 cars have laid down a qualifying time in Group B. We've got about 7 or 8 left to go.
Up next, it'll be Tim McCready in car number 39. The driver out of Watertown, New York, making his debut here tonight in the 20 of Jimmy Owens out of Newport, Tennessee. How about 6 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series drivers on the speedway? And it's Tim McCready right now in car number 39 out of Watertown, New York. The Paylor Motorsports, Mega Plumbing and HVAC, Mega Electrical Services, Bill Stein, ArmsList.com, Racing for Heroes, Speedworks, Lucas Oil, Cornet Powered Longhorn. And then the number 20 of Jimmy Owens out of Newport, Tennessee, the Kohler Motorsports, Reese Monument Company, Tim Short Automotive Group, Ramirez Motorsports, Capital Waste, Georgia Arms, Ammunition, Vic Hill Powered Rocket for Jimmy Owens, this year's Southern Nationals champ.
Tim McCready goes 4th quick on lap 1 in his first ever trip to the Tri-County Racetrack. Jimmy Owens 11th fastest on lap number 1. McCready's second lap's a little better, but he stays 4th, 12:723 for T-Mac. And Jimmy Owens, he jumps up to 5th quick on lap 2 with a 1:2.804. So Owens 5th, McCready 4th, Ethan Dotson 3rd, Jonathan Davenport is 2nd, Hudson O'Neal. I think I mentioned earlier that Davenport was the time to beat. We forgot about that second lap of Hudson O'Neal. Hudson O'Neal has the time to beat at a 12:534, Ben.
Yep. Coming up next will be Charles Devine out of Murphy, North Carolina, and the 0, the 12W of Daniel Wilson out of Tiger, Georgia. Getting to the last few qualifiers in Group B, Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. Charles Devine, the Gibson Motorsports, Payne Excavating, John Boy Exterminating, Devine Towing and Recovery, PPM Race Products, Base Race Fuels, Penske Shocks, J. Dickens Powered Capital Race Car, and the 12W of Daniel Wilson. The CWC Racing Engine Longhorn, Hunter Electric, WB Kerbo Construction, Linkmon Hoisting, Precision Seal Coating and Striping, and Bill Stein, and 101 Automotive, all sponsors on Daniel Wilson's number 12. And he's got some trouble on that race car right now trying to get up to speed.
Yeah, I think he's finally got it up to speed, but it did not sound healthy the first time it crossed the stripe. Charles Devine's going to be 13th quick on lap 1 with a 1.3861, and Daniel Wilson now able to get the 12 up to speed, but not after a lap that he won't like, 1.5979. His first trip around the Tri-County Racetrack. Charles Devine's second lap is better. He's 12th quick, 1.3137, and Daniel Wilson improves on lap 2. He'll move up to 13th quick with a 1.3450. Just a couple drivers left to qualify in Group B. Hudson O'Neal has the time to beat with a 1.2534.
Up next will be Daniel Adam out of Wade, North Carolina, in car number 75, the 18 of Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Daniel Adam, the Adams Family Motorsports, Racing for Heroes, RLM Enterprises, Amsoil, Bill Stein, the Pentagon Group Insurance, Justin L. Langdon Electrical, all sponsors on that number 75. I'm joined by Dalton Wilson in car number 18, the Breast Cancer Awareness Wrap on that number 18, the Ratliff Racing, Grantley Farms, ICS, MGL Auto Sales, Keltner Construction, the Auto Outlet, Buddha by Bird. Car number 18, a Clements Racing Engine, Longhorn by Wells chassis for that driver. Currently 7th in the Lucas Oil Limited Series standings, 12th with Castrol FloRacing Night in America. One qualifier after these two.
Daniel Adam going to be 15th on lap 1, 1.3606 his first time. And the first lap time for Dalton Wilson, 13th quick, 1.3394. Second and final trip around for Daniel Adam, 13th, 1.3321. That's his best lap. And the second trip around the racetrack for the 18-year Dalton Wilson, been much better. 6th quick, 1.2834. So Dalton Wilson 6th, Jimmy Owens 5th, Tim McCready 4th, Ethan Dotson 3rd, Jonathan Davenport 2nd, Hudson O'Neal still the time to beat, 1.2534 with, I believe, one driver left to qualify.
And it'll be Kenny Collins out of Colbert, Georgia in the 1C, the United Contracting and Roofing, Rod Roberts Trucking, Vincent Sims Construction, OK Electric, Clements Powered Train Race Car. We'll see if nothing runs like a train as the final qualifier. And Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying tonight, trying to beat Hudson O'Neal with a 12.534. Fastest in Group B. Fastest overall, Ricky Thornton Jr. was fastest in Group A with a 12.544. And lap number 1 for Kenny Collins, 6th fastest, good lap, 12.829. We'll see if Kenny can go a little bit faster on lap 2. Final qualifier, final lap, final corner.
Checkered flag is out. Kenny Collins, he does. He moves up to 3rd quick. Good lap, yeah, for the Colbert, Georgia driver. No surprise, really, as well as he gets around this racetrack, but Kenny Collins will be 3rd fastest unofficially in Group B with a 12.699. So Hudson O'Neal, the fastest in Group B with a 1.2534. Jonathan Davenport, 2nd quick with a 12.611. Kenny Collins 3rd, Ethan Dotson 4th. Unofficially, those 4 drivers will be your front row starters for heat races 3 and 4. Well, those of you watching at home and those of you here on the grounds, don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside and thank the folks that make this broadcast a possibility. When we come back, we'll have opening ceremonies here for the Tar Heel 53. Or we'll have the front wheel drives rather coming up next at the Tar Heel 53. It's the Tri-County Racetrack, Brasstown, North Carolina.
Maximum volume.
Welcome back to Tri-County Racetrack for those of you on Flow, and we appreciate those of you in attendance here at the Tiger Pit. Front-wheel drive qualifying, hot laps rolling out right now. Final points night for this division here at the track. And as if they need any more reason to get a little wild, 4 points separate our points leader from second. And Shannon Jones, our point leader, he told me, you may want to tell those Flow guys keep the cameras on me because he's willing to do whatever.
I've heard all kinds of rumors from the front wheel drives today. So
just like every week.
It's a cornucopia of drama going on.
Josh Deese in the J3 car, Jim Exum in the 32. He is second. He is the one that is 4 points behind Shannon Jones. You got Sean Ross returning in the 19R. First time, I think, this season he's been with us. Talked to him a little earlier. He said that his full-time job has become a full-time job. Tank Ingram in the X car. There you see Jim Exum there, a good shot of him. And there are the times on the screen. You're over here hugging me. You can move over a little bit.
I was trying to make sure I didn't tear up. We all good. I just didn't want to get tangled up in all the power cords over here.
I thought you were really going to miss me in the off season, so you're getting as close as you can to soak it all up right now.
Well, this may not happen again for several months.
Probably not. Jim Exum looks like he's top of the board right now with the 17793.
No surprise there.
No, there's a reason he's second. Shannon Jones in that 28 car. Normally, he's in a J32. That car got claimed last week.
Oh, yeah.
So he's trying to win the championship in a car he's never driven before. We do have a claimer rule here in the front-wheel drives to try to keep the cost down. Make this a good entry level. Here, let me get your mic up here.
Oh, my mic ain't right.
There you go.
The mic ain't right for Mike, but we got her straightened out. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Travis. You're always good to
buddy.
me.
We're a good team.
Yeah.
All right, so Jim Exum, Shannon Jones, no surprise that they are the top two. That's the two that's going for the championship here tonight. So I know, let's just be honest, a lot of people after the old super late models see the checker flag, a lot of people may tune out. But the way this show's going, you're going to have plenty of time to watch to see how this battle ends tonight. Right?
And it gets exciting sometimes, doesn't it?
Listen, sometimes it gets exciting in hot laps with this crew.
They race as hard in the hot laps as they do for the features.
There's no doubt about they love to race.
Take no prisoners.
All right, so we're getting ready for what?
Is that the guy that comes up with us sometimes?
I don't know what you're talking about. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now we're cooking with gas now.
Jeremy Woody back with us in the 721 he came all the way from Murphy, North Carolina. Can you believe that?
Golly bum. I hope he makes enough money to get home.
I do too. Let's see, who's that out there with him? The 232, Brittany Leitner. She came all the way from Brasstown in the 232 car.
We got Jason Morgan in the K3. He's from Hiram, Georgia.
Yeah.
Now, where that is, I have no idea.
It's south of here.
Yeah, it's down there where the creek burned to.
And who else have we got out there?
Did I miss one?
The 48. Justin Queen back with us in the 48 car. And looks like Clinton Taylor from Dillard, Georgia in the 27. I think that's
Believe
everybody.
it or not, they're listening to me. They're putting numbers on their cars I can read. 11 cars, front-wheel drive.
Almost a dozen. It is a dozen. With inflation, it may be a dozen now.
That's what we call a Tri-County dozen.
Problems for the 232 almost running into danger. Not often you see one car run all 4 lanes in the straightaway, but that one managed.
All 4 lanes?
All 4 lanes.
Used to be
all at the
3,
same
now
time.
we got 4.
K3 car. Jason Morgan filling in. He told me, I talked to him. Now, he won our Faster Pastor race here a few weeks ago, and he told me that James Klauke asked him, hey, do you want to drive tonight? He said, well, yeah. Okay.
Come in with a real nice driving suit. I was proud of him.
Did he?
Yeah.
I saw him before he I guess he got serious. He asked me for advice. I said, just stay out of the way. If you're not passing cars, get ready to be hit. Jim Exum, no surprise, staying at the top of the board. You see Justin Queen. It's been a while since Justin's been with us.
We got them about to pile into one another down here 1 and 2.
Well, I mean, they're racing hard. Queen currently second. Woody jumps into the third spot in the 721 car. Are we one car short? Somebody didn't answer the bell, did they?
I think you might be right.
I didn't see the 8M of Mason Kinsey from Toccoa, Georgia in either group. Did you?
No, I did not.
So I believe that'll do it. Looks like Jim Axum, as he chases a championship here tonight, going to have the best starting spot. Queen second. Where did let's see, where did he go? Shannon Jones fourth. So that'll do it for front wheel drive. All right.
Great job, guys. Well, we're going to step aside. Moments away from opening ceremonies. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll jump back to the Bloomington, Illinois studios, catch up with Michael and DJ and the gang, and then we will get heat race action underway. Round 2, Castrol FloRacing Night in America from here at Tri-County Racetrack. We'll be right back.
Relying on racing stripes to boost your car's performance? That's not confidence. Sporting the mother of all mega spoilers? That's definitely not confidence. Relying on Castrol Edge to unlock maximum performance? Now that's confidence. It's 3 times stronger than the leading full synthetic, with 10 times better high temperature performance. It's confidence in a bottle. Castrol Edge. Maximum performance. Maximum confidence.
Established in 1983, FK Rod Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website, www.fkrodends.com, to find out how you can join our winning team. FK Rod Ends. To beat the best, you've got to use the best.
Looking for a competitive edge at the track? Trust Sweet Manufacturing for top-of-the-line steering components. Since 1978, we are proud to be employee-owned and carrying on the tradition of quality racing parts. Our state-of-the-art CNC machines allow us to craft the best possible parts for your race car. Don't settle for second best. Let us turn your wheels and choose Sweet Manufacturing for all your racing needs. Find your competitive edge at sweetmanufacturing.com.
Back in our Bloomington, Illinois studios, Michael Rigsby and Derek Kessinger bringing you Castrol FloRacing Night in America, joined by our producer, Kane Run. You can't wave at the crowd. Kane never gets enough love. There he is. There's Suave and Kane. Thank you so much, boys. Preliminaries are complete in the Tar Heel State. Qualifying, always a little tricky on this racetrack, Derek. That fresh clay, you heard the local announcer say, right? Hey, this is as wet, as hooked up as it's ever been. Qualifying was interesting tonight. Some local guys, the usual national suspects. Kane, let's take a look at that top 10 tonight. Hudson O'Neal. Now, Derek, who picked Hudson O'Neal as their fast overall qualifier?
You did.
That's right. Thank you.
I go 5-1. I'm still making moves. We're good.
Hudson O'Neal, fast overall RTJ. This is where it gets interesting. Brent
Georgia
Dixon,
driver.
the Georgia driver, the 1D car. Derek in third. JD fourth. Bobby. Garrett Albertson, the defending race champion. Dale McDowell. David Payne. Kenny Collins. And Carson Ferguson. Kane brought up a great point. 7 of the 8 bets we made tonight, we have 8 drivers total represented in our bets tonight. 7 of the 8 are in the top 10 in qualifying, Derek. We are not half bad at picking this guys that might be good thing.
Yeah, we are betting gurus as it is. Well, of course, my one guy is not in it, McIntosh, but he did qualify 13th, so he was just outside looking in. And how about the local Brent Dixon? I know he's not from North Carolina, but he's not too far from his race shop. I want to say here, I'm going to look it up while I throw
Well,
it back
like you
to you.
said-
I think he got like top 5 last year.
Well, and where all those, Derek, you say not local, it's a North Carolina racetrack, of course. We're at Tri-County Racetrack, and you're watching Castrol FloRacing Night in America tonight. Where in North Carolina this place is located? There's like 7 states, I'm exaggerating, but it's a lot of states that are not far away. Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, of course, all right there.
You can get to a lot of places. Eastern Tennessee obviously has had just plenty of Hall of Famers, plenty of drivers that can go there. North Carolina, NASCAR started there. The Moonshiners. Brent Dixon finished 6th last year in this race, so he's going to try to represent. We had Clay Knight finish 4th last year. I texted him to see if he was coming so I could pick him, but he wasn't. So I went with Donald McIntosh. But, yeah, maybe we should have picked Brent Dixon. Good start to the night.
Derek, before we get to the Fast Five, I think the racetrack looks great. It looks hooked up. It's got some juice in it.
Darn it.
I know. I like the way it's looking early, Suave.
So I saw somebody tweet. They had a cool slow-motion video of, like, Justin Peck, I think, going through the cushion at Putmanville, and somebody quote retweeted and said, "You don't see cool slow-motion shots on dry slick racetracks."
I did love that.
That is pretty true. We got a track hooked up. Hopefully it stays hooked up. It should be a good one, and we have some heavy hitters up there, and as like you mentioned, some locals trying to defend their home turf.
It is that time of the night where Derek officially, God help us all, takes over control of the show for Derek Kessinger's Castrol Fast Five Suave, who we have tonight.
Okay, so this guy's been on the under the microscope. A lot of people have been saying he's cheating. A lot of people have been saying that his car is better than his actual driving style, Scott Bloomquist, but we're going with Ricky Thornton Jr. Next week's the Dirt Track World Championship, so I thought maybe it was time we talked to him before tonight's big event here at the Tar Heel 53. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Castrol's Fast Five, and I'm here with my boy, Ricky Thornton Jr. Ricky, you've been on this before. You were on it last year. We're doing you again. It's pretty simple. We got 5 good minutes. The clock has already started. We're just going to BS a little bit and have a little fun here. You ready to go?
I think so.
Okay, so is this the podcast? You're making the announcement. You're quitting dirt late model racing, and you're going micro sprint racing. Is that true?
Definitely false. Although I thought about, so there's a big high limit race tonight, an hour from me. So I thought about going there, sit in the car, take a picture, and be like, all right, good boys, I'm done. We're just going sprint car racing.
Well, you already punked me on that earlier in the year because I thought you were running the million. I even had to text you like, hey, you want to do this interview? And you're like, dude, that was a joke. I was completely messing with you. So you get people thinking on the social media boards.
No, I do for sure. I love sprint cars, but if I can make the money I'm making now running late models, there's no reason for me to go anywhere.
Have you raced Tri-County before?
One time last year.
All right, your thoughts on it?
Awesome place. I can't remember if I was quick time or second. I know I started on the pole in my heat race and I backed up to like 5th. So I went forward in the feature. I think we ran like 8th or 9th or something like that.
Okay, so you've had a great season. It's been phenomenal. People are talking about it. But be honest, did you expect going into this season, this year, you have a great team, but this has exceeded expectations, hasn't it? I think Anthony Burroughs would even say that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we felt like going into this year we're going to have a really good season. We obviously didn't think you'd have this many wins and crown jewel wins and stuff like that, but I feel like we knew with guys losing big key crew members and stuff like that it was kind of our season to try to take over. And I mean, we started the year really good speed weeks and just kind of kept progressing. So, and obviously we didn't think we'd have this many wins, but overall, I think we kind of set our goal around like 20 wins for the year, and we exceeded that. So overall, it's been pretty awesome.
All right, what's the secret? People have been saying you got this on your car, yada, yada, yada. I mean, Scott Bloomquist said that you're not even that good of a driver, that the car's just that good. So what do you got for us? I mean, you can tell me. This is just between me and you.
I mean, just between you and us. So Burroughs got a little remote control down there, and he's the one wheeling it the whole time.
Well, he's a former driver, so, I mean, people could go with it.
I believe it. It's kind of funny. I've actually heard a lot of stuff that we're doing, but I'm like, hey, it's actually a really good idea. Like, thanks for giving me that idea.
Well, you know how it is. You know how it is. Like, Brandon Overton, he got his car stripped at the World 100. JD, with the device a few years ago. Like, when somebody's hot, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at you. So I'm just making sure you're prepared. And when they bombard you, we have some good answers for them.
Well, we're actually joking around with Schwallow. We said, if we win the dirt track, like, we're just going to give you our toolbox. We'll put it in the air and just let us know when you're done. Like, check whatever you need to check. If you need to tear it all the way down, tear it all the way down. But no, overall, it's been really awesome. And heck, we've been teched a million times this year. So you figure if we had something super trick, they would have found it by now.
Okay, so Dirt Track World Championship is, coming up in about a week. Do you have a chip on your shoulder a little bit because everybody's talking about this points thing? If you had Vegas betting odds, you would probably not be the favorite with like Jonathan Davenport, obviously his history there, and then Hudson O'Neal coming off the World 100. I feel like though you and your race team have a chip on your shoulder, like you want to prove something because I think people are already saying like this is BS, like he has no chance, like this bullcrap how the point system is,
I mean, I've heard it a lot. That definitely not the favorite, or man, it sucks to have a really good year, but you're still going to run fourth in points. So I mean, our goal is it's Eldora. You put new rear ends in, new motors in, and new transmissions, the whole 9 yards, just to make sure you got the best shot no matter what. So we're really not doing anything different than what we'd normally be doing, but we definitely got that chip on our shoulder. Me as a driver, my goal honestly is to go out and lap the field. So if I can do that, then I know to take everybody else out of the category and be able to get it done.
All right, who's that behind your left shoulder there? Is that Aaron Rodgers?
Heck no, it's Tom Brady, son.
Okay, but that's a Buccaneers Tom Brady. I remember you with the Patriots helmet.
So he's holding up all his rings, just being flashy, typical Tom Brady. But
promise me though, if you win the championship next week, you're gonna do a picture like that. Can you do that?
I'll do it. All right, that's pretty cool.
All right, yes, hell yeah, he's gonna do the Tom Brady next week at the dirt track, but tonight he's gonna win here at Tri-County, or at least put a show on. Ricky Thornton Jr., that was Castrol's Fast Five. Thanks, buddy.
Yep, thanks, man.
Excellent job there, Swab. I think for sure, and we're getting ready to head out to the racetrack, he does have a chip on his shoulder. He's hearing all the noise. He is ready to go win the Dirt Track World Championship.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, JD would be the clear favorite. Eldora history.
Yep.
Hudson O'Neal coming off the World 100. My conspiracy is he was just kind of lollygagging just for this moment right
I like
here.
it.
So he's going to try to defend it. He said start everybody in the last two rows and let them, battle it out. That'd be fun, too.
I love that. Long before the Dirt Track World Championship, we've got Castrol FloRacing Night in America at Tri-County tonight. Derek and I will see you right before the feature. Until then, opening ceremonies from Brasstown. Ben and DJ, take it away, guys.
Well, thanks a lot, guys, and welcome back, those of you here on the grounds and those of you watching at home. It's just about time to get underway with this evening's opening ceremony. So those of you on the grounds, if you are able and you are not already, we'll ask you to please rise and remove your hats first for this evening's invocation that will be delivered by Jason Morgan. Jason?
Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight in Jesus' name, thanking you for a glorious day that you made. Gave us health and strength and to enjoy life and breath. Thank you for your word that lights our way, Lord, for your mercy, your grace, and your love that is just so amazing. You're so good to us. Lord, I pray tonight my heart goes out to the people in Israel. And Lord, the suffering that's going on there, and I just pray that you would watch over people and have your will and way and help them, help all the military folks fighting, and just we know you work all things out according to your will, but we just pray for them tonight. Pray for everyone here. Pray for everyone that's racing. Keep them safe. Pray for all the officials, all the workers, everyone that has a part. Thank you for FloRacing putting this on, and Ray Cook and his folks here at Tri-County. We just thank you for, again, such a beautiful day. Gave us some rain last night we needed, and just been good to us, Lord. Forgive us of our sins and shortcomings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Jason. We'll ask you to please remain standing at this time, ladies and gentlemen, and sing along for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
as Lum Ledford. And how about that high-stepping, beautiful horse out there? Now, they told me the horse's name, I think I got bad info, was Jose Cuervo. I'm not buying that, but we do know Lum Ledford up top the horse, and beautiful here tonight. Fantastic night. Blake, why didn't they let you ride the horse, Blake?
We don't need that. I can tell you, though, Lum Ledford trains horses from all over the United States. Ray Cook's neighbor.
Well, of course he is. Ray, you know, we figured out that Ray may be like Jed Clampett.
He's everyone's neighbor.
He is.
I
Hey, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the horse's name is Jose Cuervo.
Okay.
And he is a friend of mine.
Well, we know it's Lum Ledford. He's not related to Jay and Jeff, and I'm just letting that go.
I can't ask.
Hey, by the way, real quick, Blake, Jackie Jones Automotive Group, presenting sponsor tonight. You have a little story you want to share about them.
I'm a Ford guy. You guys know that.
Yes.
I bleed Ford blue. Had a Ford dealer in my family for more than 40 years, and there's legendary Ford dealerships, and then there's Jackie Jones Ford. As a Ford guy from Central Iowa, I knew about Jackie Jones Ford, one of the most legendary Ford performance dealers in the country. And I called my dad when I got here. I said, Dad, Jackie Jones Ford is just 6 miles away. And then lo and behold, Ray Cook tells me they've been sponsoring the racetrack forever, so that makes it a little bit more special. I've been a fan of Jackie Jones Ford on Facebook for 10 years now, and here we are.
And now you're really loving them. Yeah, well, they're the presenting sponsor. We want to thank Maria and the gang at FK Rod-Ins, the title sponsor, the 18th annual FK Rod-Ins Tar Heel 53, presented by Jackie Jones Automotive. You did it again, DJ. You keep muting me, man.
Well, that's all right. After you threw my laptop off the balcony at Tyler County the other day.
The people have spoken. They want me muted. I get it. All right, Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race number 1. Here's your lineup on the pole. It'll be Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Martinsville, Indiana, the 20 RT, into his outside. Bobby Pierce out of Oakwood, Illinois, in car 32.
Row 2 on the inside. How about that? Row 2, last year's first to say. Actually, the guys that ran up front most of this race, Dale McDowell, the defending race champion, and the guy that led 44 laps a year ago, Lincolnton, North Carolina's Carson Ferguson.
Row 3 will be Eatonton, Georgia's Garrett Smith in the 10, and Dennis Erb Jr. celebrating his 51st birthday here tonight in Brasstown, North Carolina, in car 28. He'll start 6th.
Row number 4 on the inside out of Benton, Kentucky, in the Viper Risk Management number 96B. That's Tanner English. He'll be flanked by the Moshine, Tennessee driver. Of the 1, it is Vic Hill. This is a loaded first heat race. Sean Chastain will be a scratch for the night. 8 cars, 8 laps, and dare I say, these 8 drivers could win just about anywhere on any given night.
Well, the top 4 out of this one will move off to the main event. Everybody else will be in one of the 2 Coltman Farms B mains coming up a little bit later, as they're going to roll it in just a little bit and get ready to double them up. Again, first of 4 heat races for Castrol FloRacing Night in America, round number 10. And Mother Nature has been a race fan. We've hustled some shows this year to beat Mother Nature, but she's worked with us. And tonight will be the 10th event in 10 tries. Only Sonoy Raceway. And you can go to SonoyRaceway1969.com. Get those camping spots. Get your tickets. Full event details will be available here within the next week. And over $200,000 on the line for the Castrol FloRacing Night in America Super Late Models.
I know we've only had that race a few years, but I mean, I went in there last year, and it really had kind of a big event feel to it. You know, you roll in, there's campers on both sides of you, and folks out playing cornhole and side-by-sides and everything around cookouts and tailgating. It just, I don't know. It was cool last year, man. It's been cool both years, but I mean, last year you walked in, it really had this kind of big event feel to it.
Well, we can't wait to get back there to see the Pollard family and Molly Helmuth in the game. Not Melly,
Molly. She is going to strangle you for saying that.
She probably wants to strangle me throughout the week anyway. Molly Helmuth and the gang. As we get set now, Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race 1. Lights are down on the speedway. 8 laps the distance, top 4 move on. Everybody else will transfer to a Coltman Farms B main. It's Ricky Thornton Jr. and Bobby Pierce, the 2 hottest drivers in the country right now, and they're going to duke it out in Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 1. DJ, bring us to the green flag.
8 laps is the distance. They'll fire in turns 3 and 4. Ricky Thornton Jr. on the pole, Bobby Pierce on the outside. Top 4 advance, and we are underway side by side off into turns 1 and 2. Bobby Pierce will get the advantage on the high side down the backstretch.
Pierce will lead him off into 3 and 4. Thornton back to his inside. Ferguson in 3rd, side by side off 4. Bobby Pierce leads lap 1.
Side by side for that 3rd spot. Still into turns 1 and 2 is Carson Ferguson has a nose up on the 17M of Dale McDowell down the back straightaway. They stay wheel to wheel, Hoosier to Hoosier through turns 3 and 4. McDowell will clear the 93 and quarter number 4. He'll take over that podium position.
And those 2 drivers battled for the win at this event last year. They're battling for 3rd right now. Out front, it's all Bobby Pierce all the time. Off of turn 4. 4, 3 down, 5 to go, and it's Pierce leading the way, a 34-time winner this year. He leads the way over Ricky Thornton Jr., who's picked up 36 total wins this year. A mere 70 wins between your top two as they work off 4.
Yep, Ricky Thornton Jr. grabbed 2 more wins in the micro at US 24 last weekend, 1 win each in the wing and non-wing car, and he is a whopping 0.8 of a second behind your race leader, BP32, this time buying 5 down, 3 laps to go for the smooth operator.
Behind Pierce and Thornton, it's McDowell, Ferguson, Dennis Erb Jr. on the outside looking in. He rides back in 5th, and it's Garrett Smith, Vic Hill, Tanner English, Sean Chastain as they race back to 2 to go, 2 more times around the speedway for Bobby Pierce in car 32.
The battle for the final transfer spot there on your screen. Carson Ferguson has it. Dennis Erb Jr. is trying to take it away, but the sands are quickly running out of the hourglass because on the front side, white flags out, final time around for Bobby Pierce. Erb to the inside.
You got a battle for the transfer. We'll keep it right there. The top 3 is C. Pierce uncontested for the lead off of 4. He'll take the win. Second is going to go to Thornton. Third will go to McDowell. Who's going to be 4 side by side through 3 and 4? Erb down low up to. It'll be Carson Ferguson.
He's going to take that spot. Dennis Erb 5th, Garrett Smith 6th, Vic Hill 7th, Tanner English will finish 8th. So Carson Ferguson gets 4th, Dale McDowell gets 3rd, 2nd goes to Ricky Thornton Jr., and the winner of heat race number 1. How about a round of applause for the driver out of Oakwood, Illinois, in the Hoker Trucking Mesilla Valley Transportation. New sponsor, Ben, the Spuds Snowy Range. I think it's Adventures, Spud Snowy Range Adventures, and his friends at Fast One Speed Shop. It's going to be the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, and he has made his way across the scales and is going to grab a word with Blake Anderson.
Take it away, Blake.
He's trying to find Blake Anderson. Blake's trying to find the on button.
They changed the way we're going to do it. So we're going to check the droop here, guys. Bobby Pierce, you mentioned how hot he's been. Well, you want to talk about hot. 9 wins in his last 11 starts. He was 13th here a year ago. And Bobby, just mentioning the tear that you've been on, do you think confidence and momentum play into things at all, or is that just fictitious?
Oh, it definitely helps. But every night's a new night, you know, and you go into it not really knowing what to think. And this track, I've only been here once. So last year, I think they had slightly different dirt on it. It's a little more like clay tonight, so I don't know. You just go into it and see what you do. You just do your best, and I can't thank my crew enough. Everyone helped me out. Longhorn, Bilstein, Vic Hill Race Engines. Hopefully it's a really good show for these fans tonight. Thanks for coming out. Thanks to everybody watching.
Guys, right now it feels like Bobby Pierce having one of those seasons that you just dream about, and it's his reality right now.
Well, the top 2 in that heat race, the current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader and the current World of Outlaws Series points leader and our current Castrol FloRacing Night in America points leader.
And Bobby Pierce has won 2 in a row with us, trying to go for the hat trick tonight as we get set for K1 Race Gears Heat Race number 2. Tiffany, let's throw this lineup up there. Here's how we'll roll them around. On the pole out of Elberton, Georgia, Brent Dixon in the 1D, and to his outside out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the 58 of Garrett Alberson.
We move back to row number 2, and on the inside out of Murphy, North Carolina, we find the former Tar Heel 53 winner. That's going to be David Payne in the 8, and on his outside out of Dawsonville, Georgia, in the Hicks Racing 79, a 2-time winner this season. It's D-Mac, Donald McIntosh.
Row 3 out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, talented driver of the 114. It's Jordan Kohler, and to his outside, Kurt English out of Murphy, North Carolina, in 17.
And your final 2 starters then is going to be Galen Robinson out of Cleveland, Georgia, in the 12. And your final starter out of Blue Ridge, Georgia, it's going to be Seth Wimpy in the 24. Again, 8 cars running 8 laps, top 4 transfer here in heat race number 2.
Well, Bobby Pierce just earned the pole position for tonight by winning Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race 1. The winner of K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 will start 3rd tonight. And boy, I tell you what, Brent Dixon's hit the ground running tonight with his qualifying effort. Garrett Alberson alongside. It would be a big deal if that driver could win this heat and start 3rd in this main event. He was a contender here last year.
Yeah, and he's got some really tough locals to contend with there around him as well. You mentioned David Payne, you mentioned Brent Dixon. Don't forget about Dawsonville, Georgia's Donald McIntosh there in that Hicks Racing 79. I love it when we have these heat races like this, Ben, when we travel with our Castrol races, and there's a lot of local flair to them, man. That's what it's all about. We'll see if some local can pick up a big $23,000 payday tonight, and it could start with a win here in K1 Race Gear Heat 2, and they get together in the front row.
Yeah, some beating and banging right there. Dixon will go to the lead. Alberson gets his feet back under him. Just good those two didn't crash. Meanwhile, McIntosh climbs the hill over in 2. He'll fall back to 4th. Now battle for the lead off of turn number 4, lap number 1 to Brent Dixon.
Brent Dixon is your leader. Garrett Alverson, though, all over him right now in a battle up front for the top spot. Those two have about 3 car lengths on David Payne, who runs third. Alverson going to try to peek a nose to the inside of Brent Dixon in 3 and 4. Dixon with the advantage up top, 2 down, 6 to go.
That's the battle for the leader right now. Alverson just can't quite get there. Looks to the inside of Dixon, off into 3 and 4, working lap 3. Dixon's lets us the drop of the green, pushes a little bit up the hill. Alverson can't capitalize. Payne sits back in third. Fourth right now, McIntosh. In fifth, it's Jordan Kohler outside looking in. Top 4 move on.
It's a good battle up front for the lead. You got a feeling that maybe Garrett Alverson has the faster race car, but is just trying to find a way around. This time by 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. We're halfway home, and it's still been the advantage this lead duo has is only about 3 car lengths over the 8 of David Payne, coming around this time to 3 to go.
Payne's watching a good one in front of him. Laps are ticking away. Alverson trying to get some traction down low. Can't quite get there. Dixon holds right through the middle of the racetrack. Off into 3 and 4. They'll race back to 2 flags. 2 laps to go. Alverson's right there. Dixon says no, sir, and leads the way.
Got to wonder if Garrett Alverson might be setting him up for a potential slider. But, man, this is a tough place to do that. These turns are so tight. You really got to nail it perfect. White flags out. Final time around as Brent Dixon trying to hang on. And David Payne's going to toss his hat in the ring with 1 to go.
And David Payne's caught that battle. Running out of time, though. McIntosh back and forth. Final time off into 3 and 4. The winner of K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2. It'll be Georgia's Brent Dixon with Garrett Alverson second.
David Payne finishes third, and Donald McIntosh will grab that all-important final transfer spot ahead of Jordan Kohler in fifth, Seth Whitby sixth, Galen Robinson seventh, and Kurt English rounding out the field in eighth.
Taking the win out of Elberton, Georgia, the 1D of Brent Dixon, the Cornet Thunder-powered Rocket XR1, sponsored by Swiftco Motorsports, Jackie Jones Automotive Group, and Dave Gordon Auto Supply. All sponsors on Brent Dixon's number 1D. He'll head down to the scales, and then he'll head over to get a word with Blake. And Blake, since they're checking Droop where you're at, we're going to let him roll right over to you before we go into the lineup for Heat 3. So take it away, Blake.
Perfect. Third race on the new dirt, guys. They've had 2 limited races. This is the first super late model race. And Brent Dixon, a guy that races here a little bit, was 17th with the Southern Nationals this year. In July 6th, a year ago, you heard Suave talk about it during the pre-race show. A guy protecting the home turf. He's got Jackie Jones Automotive Group on the car. Tonight's presenting sponsor of the Tar Heel 53. He slides his helmet off. We'll grab a word with Brent. You heard Bobby talk about how he thinks it races a little differently. And Brent Dixon, you're a guy more laps than a lot of the super guys here in the field. Talked about the new dirt that's gone down. It's the third race, but the first time the supers have been on it. From your perspective, a guy that's got laps here, does it race any differently?
Yeah, it does. It races a little different. Ray's moved the track around. I don't know. I was expecting it to be a little wetter, really and truly as wet as it is. But in the groove around the top, it was a little drier than where I felt like it was going to be at the end of qualifying. But I think it's going to be good. I think it'll clean up in a little bit, and hopefully everybody won't keep going to the bottom and crumbing that top up. And if it'll clean up, maybe we'll put on a good race here in a minute.
Guys, he finished 6th a year ago. Tonight he's going to roll off 3rd.
Thank you, Blake. As we get set for Buzzy Racing Products Heat Race number 3 coming our way, and here's how we'll roll them around. On the pole position will be Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana, the 1, and Kenny Collins out of Culver, Georgia, in the 1C. It's all one affair on the front row.
Second row back on the inside, currently 5th in the series point standings, T-Mac Tim McCready on his outside out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, the 18D, the big perm, Dalton Wilson.
Row 3 out of New Tazewell, Tennessee, Austin Neely in the 3N, and Clay Harris out of Jupiter, Florida in the 6H.
And your final 3 starters scheduled to be the Danny Hatcher, number 6. That's Ross Bales tonight. Daniel Adam out of Wake, North Carolina in the 75.
Right on cue. There's Daniel Adam spun around.
Daniel Adam is pointing in the wrong direction over in turns 1 and 2. And I believe Chuck Southard will be the final starter in the 108 as Daniel Adam gets that 75 pointed back in the right direction. Remember, he ran with us and he is done. He must have broke something. Huh.
Ouch.
All right. Well, we have 8 cars, run 8 laps. Again, this is K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 3. Again, the top four transfer to the Tar Heel 53. Tar Heel
Look
53.
Look here, Sonny.
Yeah, see?
Hey,
yeah,
Sonny.
see?
What had happened was, so the winner of this heat race is going to start outside front row for tonight's FK Rod-Ins Tar Heel 53, presented by Jackie Jones Automotive Group. So we're going to see who can win the drag race to turn 1 in this one between Huddy and Kenny on the front row. 8 laps the distance, and this is Buzzy Racing Products Heat 3. One more heat to go for Castrol FloRacing Night in America after this one.
Pair of ones in row number 1, as Ben mentioned, Hudson O'Neal and Kenny Collins. They get all bottlenecked up coming off corner number 4. Everybody's able to gather back up. Nobody gains a spot, and we go green with Dalton Wilson nearly getting in the wall.
And Dalton did not get a good start. He'll fall back. Meanwhile, Kenny Collins to the lead. Hudson O'Neal trying to get there to him back in the 3rd spot. It's McCready. As out front, Kenny Collins back in the family-owned number 1 seat leads the way early in this one.
Man, he gets around this racetrack so well. And if he stays out front in this heat race, he is going to go alongside Bobby Pierce in the front row. Tonight's $23,000 to win main event. Hudson O'Neal, though, knocked on the back door. Those 2 drivers got about 3 car lengths over your 3rd place driver, Tim McCready. As we've got one slow in turn 2, it's Dalton Wilson in the 18D. And our first spring rhythm caution flag of the night is out.
And we'll see if he possibly has a flat tire on that number 18D or just slowing with issues. All 4 tires look like they're up on that race car.
On that initial start, Ben, he got kind of shuffled up in and almost grabbed the outside wall, maybe even did grab a little bit of that outside wall down in turns 1 and 2. Here's a look at your FloRacing instant replay.
Oh, car just got away from him down in the corner, yeah.
Yep.
Middle of turns 1 and 2. Great shot from the drone.
2 laps down, 6 laps to go, and we will get them lined back up in a Delaware double file restart. So your race leader, Kenny Collins, will be by himself out front. Your 2nd place car, the one of Hudson O'Neal, will have his choice of inside or outside lane. There you can see he has chosen the inside lane on this restart. And the rest of the field will stagger accordingly. Again, 2 scored, 6 to go. K1 Race Gear, heat number 3, Kenny Collins, the Pied Piper at the head of the pack.
Spring Rhythm caution lights are turned out. We're back underway. Collins gets a good start. Hudson's right there with him. McCready back in 3rd. Up to 4th will be Neely as they're beating and banging back in the pack. Working on a 2 down the back straightaway, working lap number 3. And now Austin Neely finds himself into that final transfer. Meanwhile, Hudson to the inside of Kenny Collins. Battle for the top spot all forward. Still Collins your leader.
Yeah, Hudson O'Neal, much like Garrett Albertson in that last heat race, is able to stick a nose underneath the race leader. Just can't quite pull the pass at this point in time. Kenny Collins has got a good read on this racetrack. 4 down, 4 to go. And on the left side of your screen, Ben, the battle for the race lead. On the right side of your screen, the battle for the transfer that is no more because the Danny Hatcher 6 of Ross Bales takes it away.
Meanwhile, to the inside of Kenny Collins, here comes Huddy. It's still Hawk Collins by half a car length. 5 down, 3 to go, and it's a good one for the lead out of 2 down the back straightaway at the Tiger Pit here tonight.
They stay side by side down the back stretch and into turns 3 and 4. Again, Hudson O'Neal on the inside, Kenny Collins on the outside. A good one in the house that Ray Cook built. They stay wheel to wheel, less than 2 to go.
Collins is going to race back to the white flag, trying to get a bit of an upset here in this one. He's the local, but he's the underdog. But here comes Hudson to the inside. You're going to have a new leader at the line. You do. Hudson O'Neal inches ahead. Can he hold the top spot? He slides in front of Kenny Collins through 1 and 2.
Kenny Collins have one slider, and he will find out. He does not. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag is out. Hudson O'Neal wins K1 Race Gear. Heat race number 3. Kenny Collins 2nd. Tim McCready 3rd. Ross Bales comes up to grab that 4th and final transfer spot in a dandy of a 3rd heat race here tonight.
Oh, that was fun. Taking your 4th and final transfer, Ross Bales in the 6th car. 3rd to Tim McCready out of New York. 2nd to Georgia's Kenny Collins. And Hudson O'Neal picks up the win. It took to the last lap to get to the lead, but he gets it done. And he picks up the win. The Valvoline V1 Racing Oil, Performance Grading, Sliber Calf Wrenches, O'Neal Salvage and Recycling, Ace Metal Works, Gunner's Honey, 5-Star Race Car Bodies, Petrov Towing, Sunoco, WR1 Sim Chassis, and AccuForce, all sponsors of that Durham-powered Rocket XR1 for Hudson O'Neal. And it's going to take just a second to get to the scales. I'll tell you what, Tiffany, if you can, throw us up the lineup for Heat Race 4. We'll go through that, and then we'll head back to Blake Anderson, who will interview Huddy, who won Heat Race number 3. As we get set now for iBox Springs Heat Race number 4, and it'll be Jonathan Davenport and Ethan Dodson on the front row.
It might be Buzzy Racing Products Heat Race number 4, if I'm not mistaken. Jonathan Davenport, no, I'm sorry, you already said Jonathan Davenport and Ethan Dodson is Jimmy Owens out of Newport,
you don't
Tennessee. Inside row 2 and on his outside. Out of Murphy, North Carolina, the 38 is Jamie Oliver.
Can I go now? Or no? Okay, no. David McCoy out of Franklin, North Carolina, in the 187, and Ricky Weiss out of Hegling, Manitoba, in the 7W.
And your final two starters then out of Murphy, North Carolina, is going to be Charles Devine in the 0 and Daniel Wilson out of Tiger, Georgia, in the 12. And your race winner, Hudson O'Neill, is caught up with our very own Blake Anderson.
Huddy, how tough were things in that heat race? And to try to find the space to get to the lead over there in 3 and 4, what did you see that propelled you to the top spot?
It was just tight. You know, that bottom just kept getting a little more run in and a little bit more run in the whole time the heat race went on, so it helped me a little bit. He just made a mistake there one time and got kind of free and washed up the racetrack, and I was able to get a run. And I think this thing's going to race awesome. I think the more it moves down, the better and better it's going to get, and that top's going to come back, and I think it'll be a good show.
Hudson O'Neill and Bobby Pierce went 1-2 at Tyler County at our last Castrol FloRacing Night in America race. Tonight, they start on the front row. Another impressive feat from that last race, guys. Dalton Wilson brought out the early yellow there. Tonight, his 100th start of the season. Impressive stuff there.
How about that? Blake Anderson dropping notes of nuggets.
He don't play. Blake,
infield.
he doesn't play, man. It's an honor to get to work with Blake, and his preparation second to none. Glad to have you here, Blake.
And we'll look forward to working with him at the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals in about 2 months.
And Sonoy. He'll be with us at Sonoy.
He'll be with us at Sonoy,
Yes.
that's right. All Blake Anderson all the time. All right, one more heat race left to go.
He said no starter, no problem. Starter, no problem.
No problem.
Either way, great with sprint cars, great with late models. Well, we just saw Kenny Collins come up a lap and a piece short of an upset in the first one. Can David McCoy or Ethan Dotson get it done this one? Both Coleman Farms drivers. And I tell you what, Ethan Dotson, he picked up the Red Farmer Tribute win at Talladega Short Track with the Hunt and Front Series alongside of Superman Jonathan Davenport. Green flag this time out of 4. 8 laps the distance. Winner will start 4th in the main event tonight. And we're underway.
Side by side off into turns 1 and 2. Davenport will slide up the racetrack. And as he slides up the track, it momentarily opens up the door for the 20 of Jimmy Owens.
There comes Owens. Oh, hang on to it. We got one around. That's Ricky Weiss, and the spring rhythm caution flies on the speedway as Ricky Weiss goes around in car number 7.
And hard contact with Daniel Wilson back there as well in the 12, and he's able to drive off. Unfortunately, Ricky Weiss is not, though, and we'll see if he's able to get the fire rebuild underneath the hood of that Sniper chassis.
Well, for spring rhythm caution on the speedway, and don't believe we got that lap, so should be and officially no laps, so FloRacing instant replay. And off into turns 3 and 4. Owens got up into the mix, and then, man, Weiss got in there. It was like he caught the wall with his spoiler on the right side, and then the car just snapped around getting into the corner.
Yeah, it really did. And again, this is a place with super, super tight corners. I mean, you are stabbing that brake at the back end of the race car to come around as well. But tough break there for Ricky Weiss. I don't know if you get to see it from your vantage point or not, Blake.
I couldn't, but I was going to ask you guys from up top, at least from down here in the infield. I don't know about your vantage point, but are these starts as chaotic as they seem going into turns 1 and 2?
Well, especially that one, I felt like. I mean,
last
that one,
two have been wild.
And if you're Jimmy Owens, you really hate to see that one called back because Owens got a great start. Ethan Dotson also told me earlier, obviously, he'd never seen this racetrack before today. He goes, it's interesting. I think he just learned a lesson on how high you can't go down in 1 and 2, DJ, and really did a great job to save the race car because I thought for a minute it might go around on him as he got a lit up into the loose stuff down in 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that he had much of an opportunity where to go as well. Jonathan Davenport's got more laps around this track really as anyone. This is one of the tracks he cut his teeth on. Again, grew up just 15-20 minutes from here, but JD immediately went to the outside down in turns 1 and 2, and even though Dotson was still there, he knew what line he had to have. Jonathan Davenport, he's run this racetrack. He watched the first few heat races, I'm sure, before climbing in the race car. He knew where he needed to be, so he let that 49 wash up the track a little bit down in turns 1 and 2 to try to get the advantage on the first lap. Unfortunately, looks like the wrecker has been called out to get the 7 of Ricky Weiss extracted from the speedway.
Yeah, it looked like that nose dug in just a little bit, Blake. Sorry to interrupt you. They were picking up, looked like some pieces of maybe some support bars down there in turn 3. Down to you, Blake.
Ben, DJ, we talk about drivers that will race anything. A guy like a Ricky Thornton Jr. that'll run about anything. Ethan Dotson, much of the same. 13 wins this year, 9 in a modified, 3 in a late model, and then a stock car win. He's a guy, obviously. DJ, you know my favorite stat on Ethan Dotson, though. I think you can probably.
Be Super Nationals.
Yeah, the Super Nationals winner in 2019.
That's right.
So he's an impressive driver. Obviously, a new ride for him just in the last, couple of weeks?
Well, and he started the year with Chris Bragg. He won 2 Comp Cam Super Dirt Series wins.
Old number 1 in Arrowhead.
Yeah, with Chris Bragg Motorsports, and now he finds himself in the Coltman Farms Racing entry. And second race out, as we talked about, he wins at Talladega, $9,700 payday with the Hunt the Front Series. And, shout out to those guys. First year series in the books. And the Joyner family did a great job this year. And congratulations, Josh Putnam picked up the title.
Yeah.
And our buddy Trey Mills, the Rookie of the Year down there. And unfortunately, DJ, he's now taller than both
I know,
of us.
yes. Well, it doesn't take much. But, I talked to Joshua Joyner on the phone just the other day. The Joyners and the folks that Hunt the Front have done great things here this year. Hey, do want to remind the folks here in this area about the WNC Racer Auction coming up on Saturday, December 2nd. That's just about 6 weeks away. And that is at the WNC Agricultural Center Expo building, the one with the blue roof in Fletcher, North Carolina. We'll let the cars get by on the front straightaway here before we give out much more information. Again, that is the WNC Racer Auction. They're combining the Knoxville, Shelby, and Greenville Pickens auctions into one event. Get your items cleaned up and ready to sell. Again, the WNC Agricultural Center Expo building coming up on Saturday, December the 2nd.
All right, so Ricky Weiss is going to have his work cut out for him in the second Coltman Farms B main tonight if he is going to race into this 18th annual FK Rod Ends Tar Heel 53 presented by Jackie Jones Automotive Group. DJ, the spring rhythm cautions lights are turned out on the speedway. It'll be Jonathan Davenport and Ethan Dotson. Try 2. We'll see if it's a charm. 8 laps the distance. Top 4 to the feature.
We lost Ricky Weiss as he will have to try to claw his way through one of the B mains. Much better start for Jonathan Davenport that time as he's able to clear Kenny Collins, Ethan Dotson. It turns 1 and 2, 3 wide for the second spot. Here comes Jamie Oliver.
I thought Jamie Oliver, the Murphy, North Carolina driver. No! Jimmy Owens is going to go around as we'll collect the lap, but the spring rhythm caution will fly and got off in the corner, and it just took off on him. He saw the wheel hop, and once it started to do that, not much he could do. And now Owens, uncharacteristic issue, is going to have to tag the back of the pack, and we will have a Flow Racing instant replay as Jimmy Owens finds him on the back of the pack, himself on the back of the pack. 1 down, 7 to go.
I did not have a Jimmy Owens spin on my bingo card.
Oh, that was a good battle right there, though. They were 3 wide off, too, and Owens went off in the corner, and, yeah, just went to turn to the bottom, and it just got away from him a little bit.
Yes, it did as the 20 goes around, and
Blake Anderson.
He'll be at the tail of the field, Blake, yeah.
Jimmy Owens a winner here this year at Southern Nationals in July.
Yes,
Southern Nationals champion this year. How about that?
How about first time in his career? You would think from this area and the history of it, but hey, man, he spent a lot of those times out doing the National Tour deal and even early on doing the UMP Mod deal.
Boy, he won a lot of modified races.
Him and Mikey Marlar. Also, Mikey not here tonight. Getting ready for the Dirt Track World Championship. Down to 1 car for that operation. Got some news coming out there. Some exciting stuff for that team that'll be coming out in the next week. So, Mikey, we hate you're not here tonight, but we'll see you at Eldora next week. As back underway, the number 49 car, Jonathan Davenport, takes him off into 1 and 2. And he's your leader with 1 down, 7 to go. And Ibach brings heat 4, and Dotson will go around Jamie Oliver for the second spot. Meanwhile, David McCoy up to 4th. Devine sits back in 5th, and Owens in 6th. With 7th will be Daniel Wilson with 2 down, 6 to go.
That's how they run at the end of lap number 2. Jonathan Davenport trying to get a popular, not hometown win, but basically a hometown win.
That.
Again, 5 miles from here is what he told me earlier. As the
40
crow
minutes
flies.
by car.
Yes, exactly. As it looks like Daniel Wilson off the pace coming off turn number 4, and it's going to be a heat race for him as he has done. Davenport out front, Ethan Dotson second. Jamie Oliver right now stays in 3rd, and David McCoy has worked his way up into that 4th and final transfer spot. Owens on the outside looking in 5th.
Jimmy Owens trying to reel in that battle for the final transfer spot. Meanwhile, out front, it's a Sunday drive for Jonathan Davenport in car 49. As he had a 1.44 second advantage last time by. That battle for 3rd is heating up. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Only 2 of those drivers move on. Coming into your living room, McCoy to the inside of Oliver. And now here comes Jimmy Owens joining the fray.
Yeah, there's only 2 laps to go. Jonathan Davenport's got this race well in hand. He's got a 2.5 lead. And your second place car, Ethan Dotson, he's got about 4 or 5 car lengths on this battle for 3rd. We'll double it up for you at home with 1 to go. Again, that's your leader on the left side of your screen. 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the right side. 2 of those drivers advance.
Jonathan Davenport will take a comfortable win at Ibach Springs Heat Race at number 4. 2nd will go to Ethan Dotson. 3rd, who's it going to be? Jamie Oliver. And 4th to David McCoy. Jimmy Owens will head off to a B main Has taken your fourth and final transfer out of Franklin, North Carolina, David McCoy in the 187. Third will go to Murphy, North Carolina's Jamie Oliver. Second to Ethan Dotson out of Bakersfield, California. And your winner, Jonathan Davenport, here in Ibach Springs Heat Race number 4, picks up the win. The Nutrient Ag Solutions, Fast Shafts, Data Grow Seed, Lucas Oil Products, ASC Warranty, Mark Martin Automotive Group, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Bill Stein, VP Racing Fuels, and Midwest Sheet Metal. Cornet Lightning under the hood tonight of the Longhorn Race Car.